Oh no, I was like, not again.
We are tWoTcast, episode 368. Cue the crickets.
They're going the whole time.
Two crickets.
No, he doesn't. No. Okay. All right, everyone, shut the f*** up. Let's ready to record.
We like to start every show by yelling, "We are tWoTcast." Can you do that with me? On the count of 1, 2, 3, go. We are tWoTcast. Now we can start.
The Wheel of Time Reread Podcast. Explicit and R. Freaking rated. Jono's the wild guy. Always talking shit. Joe's the straight man. He's a total dick. Tom is still obsessed with X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
We are
Hey, you are viewing, watching, or I guess listening to tWoTcast, Wheel of Time Reread podcast. I'm Jono. With me always is Joe.
Oh, hey.
Tom.
Study your math.
Tom is frequently and right here. Sometimes, on occasion.
Tom is frequently here sometimes. Yes.
On occasion.
Yeah, on occasion. Yeah.
So, I'm very excited. Today we're going to talk about, on tWoTcast, we're going to talk about Twat Show, the Wheel of Time show.
Twat Show is out.
Written by...
Everyone else has already talked about it. But that's not how we do things here.
That's right, because fuck that. Twat Show is written by not Robert Jordan.
We're the Danny DeVito of the dentist system.
Picking up scraps? Is that what it is? Yes.
You would think also we would have the benefit of having watched and listened to what everybody else had to say about it to give us further insight. But we don't do that.
Nope. You know what? If anything, our audience is the Danny DeVito of the dentist system.
Everybody gets to hear us speculate on things that everyone else has already figured out.
Yeah. So I guess we should lay some ground rules here real quickly.
They might have figured it out.
Yeah. We are not very good at the whole research our own shit thing and find out what other people are doing. It's kind of definite to us. We're unabashedly big fans of the books as opposed to, thank you, Wada Holocausty, necessarily the show. Although I think that we're going to have some positive things to say. We're not looking to bash the show unless the show is looking to get bashed. Yeah. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about some of the material. I'm also unexcited about some of the material.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm actually... I've been having a hard time. I watched the first episode Friday, and then the last two.
Will Tom ever turn up? Did he give up in episode 1?
We will never
made it.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah. We will never know if Tom has read it or not. But I'm fucking excited to talk about this shit.
This is a perfect comment from Beach. He probably didn't make it past the season 1 recap. If there's anything that's going to turn Tom off season 2, it's making him rewatch even a second of episode or season 1.
I did watch that recap, and I was like, oh yeah, no wonder I'm so fucking angry.
I'll be honest. I thought the season 1 recap, and this is an exciting hot take, may have been better storytelling than most of season 1, because it actually put together the narrative that they were going for, but kind of couldn't because of certain things.
I will
that's
say
true.
that during episode 2, the baby was asleep, and rather than pause it so there was noise, then no noise, and then restart it and noise again, which would have disrupted him, I just let it play while I went to smoke. And then in the back half of episode 2, I just was scrolling through Twitter, and not Wheel of Time Twitter, just my personal Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when it's episode 2, I was like, I'm going to bed.
So your evaluation of the show will be on point, and
I watched episode 3 the next morning, just because I felt like I should.
You should. I'm glad.
We're not talking about 3 tonight. We're gonna.
Yeah.
We knew knowing us, there's no way we could cram all 3 episodes into one episode of our show. So we're just gonna do episode 1 and 2, and then next week when we do 4, we'll do 3 and 4, and then we'll get caught up.
Yeah.
In theory.
in theory.
But I guess also spoilers if you think it's impossible to not reference 3. Like I can't.
I mean, yeah, spoilers.
I
Well,
can't
the key to our show, Tom, is that
We're not
it's
gonna talk about it in
spoilers for the
detail.
books as well as the TV show.
Oh,
So basically, we're gonna. I mean, that's the whole point of our show. We're a reread. So I mean, like if you're here and you're a new viewer, for some reason,
Also for me, they all kind of
when
blend
you haven't read the books, get gone unless you want.
They blended in together a little bit. It's almost like a 3-hour movie, so I'll rely on you guys to take it scene by scene and remind me what happened.
I've watched the show twice now, episodes 1 and 2 twice now. I watched it actually just like trying to watch it, and then I took notes and shit today because I'm a thorough and important piece of this.
I also did that sort of. I didn't really watch a second time fully like I would have liked because I didn't have time, but I just kind of like, jumped forward a few seconds. I got the gist of every single conversation, but still just the gist of every conversation, and then kind of just moved on just to make sure I kind of like remembered what was going on kind of thing. But
yeah, so
my notes are less thorough than I would like them to be, but that's okay.
Do we want to go with any like preamble? Like, yes, we are.
You want to reread, not a rewatch. That's true. That's true. I tried to watch it a second time. I just didn't have time.
Do we
also, Tira Washir said howdy.
Put any thoughts out there, like overview, or just kind of say fuck it, just jump right in?
Well, why don't you? How about an episode 1 overview, real quick? Well, like, what do you guys think of it? Just episode 1 in general.
Barrow, Tom.
I didn't like it. I don't like the show.
All right.
Hey, why do we even ask?
I didn't rewatch season 1 at all. I kept meaning to, like thinking maybe I would do that, but I've been watching Uber during my lunch breaks instead of Wheel of Time, which I think is the right call. No offense, Rafe. So I was a little foggy on a few details, such as I could not remember what the fuck happened to Moraine, whether she was shielded or stilled or burned out, or
They don't
even in reviews, people don't seem to know if it's. They say
they don't. Yeah,
the conflicting.
Yeah,
but I guess we're not explicitly told. It just seems like a shielded, like Asmodeus.
Yeah. So, and apparently, like, I also forgotten, like, I went and looked this one up, that apparently her bond was, like, she had masked the bond when she went into the Blight, and therefore it's still masked to this day, maybe. I've got a lot of
the impression I get. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have the power to unmask it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
How many comments tonight is Tom's final thought just gonna be like so stupid?
I mean, I just found the whole thing frustrating, and then I started to just feel like insulted. Like the show is telling me, like, if you like the books, then you're an idiot because everything they did was wrong. Look how we're changing.
I don't know about that.
That's a little tough. It's a little tough. Joe and I are going to come across. Like, I'm not looking to be like a Rafe apologist or Apollo Rafe. I don't know the better term, but I think that I don't know the constraints he was given with. So whatever the fuck happened in season 1 is kind of, that's tough, right? I guess, but where they take the writing in its own weird way, we'll see if I like parts of it. Like, I get the fact that it's not going to be the fucking series. I get that. I don't like, but that's the truth.
But I mean,
something.
So many adaptations are the series. So many.
Name one really popular movie.
Are so closely adapted. You should be able to watch an episode and then pick out like 2 to 3 things where you're like, oh, they changed this, but I understand why, or I don't. It annoys me. You shouldn't be able to watch the entire hour and just be like, well, this is annoying, and just like, you know what I mean. I'm not blaming an individual. It's,
let me ask you a question. Do you? Granted, it's only been
1 week since you looked at it.
Granted, it's only been 1 week since we watched the show. It's only been 3 episodes.
Yeah.
To be fair, but do you feel like in any way, shape, or form that what he had said previous to the season coming out in terms of like season 2 and 3 are meant to correct the ship, and by season 3 you'll start to feel like it's matching the books more closely? Or do you think with what we've seen so far, do you feel like that comment is true, or do you feel like it's just barreling down the wrong way still?
Barreling down the wrong way. But I will say this: they got signed up for season 2 and started right before season 1 even came out. So I don't. I'm willing to trudge through this and then get to season 3 and see if there's some sort of like giant about face.
Yeah,
because it's conceivable, I guess. But even
I feel like it's conceivable. That's exactly how I feel about it. Like what that comment still, I have it in the back of my head as I'm watching, and I'm like, but so much is still so different, and I'm like thinking that the entire time, and then I'm like, well, maybe that still has to be different so they can get to this certain different place.
It's a complicated
or close to the books, but
14-book series, and if you pull at one thread, it's going to unravel everything.
Yes, and that's what we
said.
That's what I said every episode last season.
To get everything back, I can't even imagine what that would take. Or
maybe they're already too far gone for the books. That's what I feel. That's how I feel right now.
And then
I feel like they're just too far gone, and every time they change something, it just has ripple effects, and it's just going to keep changing things.
I mean, it's just going to keep massive changes.
Yeah,
massive.
Yeah. Game of Thrones was good until they passed the books.
It's so
was
true.
Good until they passed the books. Like,
it was good. Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I guess your overwhelming point is 100% correct, and we don't actually know where the fuck this story is going. Right? Are we in the trying to reverse everything to get to where it should be?
It feels like they're trying to do that.
Yeah, I use this point right here is, maybe it's just all correction to get to Falme somehow, reverse the stupidity of season 1, and kind of just say like, and from here we restart.
But now we're in a place where we can more closely match the books.
But there are certain characters, and I get that timing's always weird, especially this. But there are certain things that everything with Matt Cawthon right now, and again, I get that some shit happened with the first actor, fine.
And men.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around it is, again, man. Leandrin had more time on screen than I think all the fucking 3 Taviran combined. I'm not
not really sure why Leandrin's in the show so much. I don't know. Maybe like they are setting her up to be sort of an Elida type.
But no thanks.
Oh, even Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie's like, fuck this shit.
Elida's been cast though, hasn't she?
Oh, has she? I don't know. I don't pay attention to news. I
don't know how I'd feel if in a vacuum if I'd never read the books and I was just watching the show. Maybe this would be good, but for me, it's bad.
I feel like I would. I do like season 2 better than season 1.
It looks better.
It just feels better. I like it looks better. Like the actors.
I remember I was way more excited.
The characters better.
I really enjoyed the first few episodes of season 1.
We all did.
But I guess it took them a minute to get completely off track. Like you got to start. So I don't know. And then I struggle with how to do this. I don't want to sit here for an hour and a half and just be like,
no.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that next time we get together.
Well, why don't I? So I'm just gonna add episode 1 to the stream and play it silently, so it's just like on the screen while we're talking, and we can kind of like, and then I'll skip forward if we need to skip forward or something like that. But at least I'll just get it moving so we can,
so I would
see
say
things.
The Dark Friend Social
while we're talking.
We covered the Dark Friend Social entirely.
I'll skip that. I'll skip over that.
The only thing to note is if you've got the X-ray functionality, it does say it's in Tel'aran'rhiod for better or worse. I don't know what to make of that. When you pause it,
what?
Yeah,
I hated that even more watching the show because I could actually hear it and see it a little more.
I also hated the fact they changed. Like, I thought the Wheel of Time intro for season 1 was actually really fucking cool with all like.
Okay, so I have to say though that doesn't mean that. I guess.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm not surprised.
Are we still being watched live, or
it
what?
was on silent? No, again, people are still there. Let me figure this out for 5 seconds. Hold on.
All right, I mean, well, I'm gonna pee while this goes on.
All right. I guess I should stop this fucking episode playing. Hold on. not even on the right. We'll be right back. Arg. All right, hold on. Make a new stream real fast. Since I can't stop this, I guess I don't want to end it. Fuck, I'm not ready for that problem.
It's all right. Just take your time.
I'm hurrying, I know. Take my time is not on the table right now.
Due to a copyright match, your stream was interrupted.
Yeah. That I don't need right now. Hold on. All right, let's try this again. And that's why I'll have the images for next time. I mean, it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah. All right. So we there are people watching us again.
Is there?
No, I'm
Did it
asking.
work?
All right, you're done. You're acting like a psychopath.
Oh, we are back. Okay, good.
We're back. We are back.
Well, that's weird. It started again. I'm in the middle of trying to like make a new stream, and I'm like, oh, well, all right then.
Isn't that the first book?
Are we back? We are back.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah.
So we just can't play the full episode live.
So Dan, I mean, you may need to start a new stream. That's why I was just about to end the stream and start a new one, and then we just popped back on. So I mean, it looks like Amazon's mad about us playing an entire episode of their television show. Seems ridiculous.
While I talk shit about it in the background.
Weird. Copyright.
Maybe if it was glowing reviews, we would just be like, great.
Just
I mean,
Go for it, guys.
It is what it is.
All right. So what's the next scene? I guess. Where were we? Oh, we were.
We were watching a Gween clean. Alana and her warder sex.
Yeah.
And she walks by the warder practice yard, and it's not Gwyn and Galad. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. So two things I want to go back to. One, the Mirlan's out. I assume she is filming Mr. 3. Second one is going back to like Bail Doman's lack or actually having a mustache. We see later on a fucking Gleeman, which I assume is a Gleeman because he's the one.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, Rand's one. Wait, is that Rand?
It's in book 3 or episode 3. And
why are you talking about episode 3?
Because it fucking drove me mad. Because he's got a fucking patchwork cloak, whereas Tom Maryland doesn't.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, I like this guy.
No beard on that guy.
Yeah, no. The fact that Tom Maryland didn't have a fucking patchwork cloak, but we see some dickhead for 6 seconds who's not even supposed to be a Gleeman. It seems like he's just proclaiming the hunt.
I think he was. I think he was telling the Great Hunt of the Horn story. Anyway, we're talking about episode 1 right now.
In my head, Bail Doman looks like Bluto from Popeye.
So close. Hey,
why on earth? Never mind. I'm just gonna go with that. I like it.
Who produces Sino? Do you think there's a chance that they're gonna try to take us down for all the?
I mean, they're sailors. Makes sense.
Anyway, so I digressed. Yeah, there's a good chance Wildman White is
was
on.
she trying to get Egwene in a 4-way? I mean, she does go Egwene.
It seems messed up in a. It's like, one of my students is here. Let's see if she wants to fuck.
Especially considering they call them like little daughters, pretty much, right? You're a child as a novice. You probably shouldn't be trying to tempt children into your fucking.
Well, I just don't like. I mean, later on when Egwene's talking to her and she's like, "Do you need time to get your clothes back on?" Before she walks in, and she's like, "I said enter," and that doesn't answer her question.
Yeah,
it's like, God damn it! And then in that conversation, she's also like, well, this is when I first started experimenting, blah, blah, blah. And she's totally talking about banging two dudes. And she's like, I was talking about the lesson. Like,
Joe, you're
what
talking about
the
episode
fuck
2.
is in your head right now? Anyway,
Yeah.
oh, sorry. Well, at least we're covering that episode tonight, Jonah.
Yeah. Only
This is a Gwen's face. What? Ah, shit.
great freeze frame. Good work. This made me better.
I mean, this is what we did last year. I don't know why I remotely even attempted to show the show for more than 5
Yeah,
seconds. What was
way
I
more-
thinking?
That's more entertaining to me.
We'll try it again next week.
I did take a million screen grabs, so we'll see.
Yeah.
What I got here.
Oh, these
I
Ace and I
don't
are
remember what I
just
have.
like the Ace and I that I know.
All right.
Anyway, so what do you think about that? Gwen cleaning and Alana and all that.
I think she wanted to clean Alana out after she was getting railed by 2 dudes. Like, she's on cleanup crew.
Then we get to this scene in the kitchens.
Gonna leave that all the way.
The worst the fact, like, who can name the 5 powers? Anyone who's read the fucking book jacket? Like, what the fuck is that one?
It's so basic.
Also, it's just like, what the fuck? And Ice and I just randomly enters the kitchens and starts teaching a lesson.
Do you
So clearly
randomly?
there's no like Laris of the kitchens, mistress of the kitchens in this book or in this series, because she would have been like, "Get the fuck out of here! I'm trying to cook dinner for 100 people."
It feels like you're playing a little fast and loose with the magic system too, and then pouring the water through your net that you drew from the stones and the water in the air to clean
Yeah.
the water. Like, I guess I did not like that.
Yeah, so if you're sitting on water, like if you're on a boat, can you not channel Earth because there's no Earth close enough to you?
I mean, it's
Like,
under the water, dummy.
like-
But yeah, I mean, this scene basically
Not close enough.
I don't think
Thousands. It could
I
be
mean,
thousands, 5,000.
changes the magic system a little bit.
Alana's the origin of the 9-horse hitch.
And-
Doman had some real Davos from Game of Thrones vibes.
I
Okay.
also,
Yeah.
I don't know
again,
that the way they
there's some
explained the
cool
one
things
power
in
and used
the-
it was massive to me.
Wait, what? You were both talking.
yeah,
Is that the way they
changed a
used the
lot.
one power and explained it?
It
Like a
changed
really big
way
deal to you
more
guys?
than
I think Jono is breaking up, and there.
And now we've lost Jono.
Yes.
We're,
I kind of
this
hated
stream is, we're crushing it.
what was going on.
That was the
Also-
biggest scene of the entire first episode.
Oh man,
Where I just was watching that, I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You're gonna build a sifter out of the one
her
power.
weird two-handedness.
Two-handedness with the one power.
That was actually when she was like,
Yeah,
"You got hit."
that, Egwene was trying to use two.
Oh. Egwene was trying not to use her hands, I thought.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct. I'm sorry. Like the weird, you're not supposed to use. Like you have to use your hands. I think is proof of how dexterous Egwene will be.
Oh, yeah. I
and
did
like
like
how-
that part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm virtually positive when she frees
Yeah.
herself,
I thought that was-
she thinks she's not going to be able to because she can't use her hands because they tie her behind her back or something. She's like, "I don't need my hands to use the one power. I'm free, Egwene."
I hope that's not true. She just
It
takes the pacifier out and she's fine.
You know it's true. Just
What is
heads-
the point of this?
especially with how much the Shanshan
Why-
use their hands and all the powers of their arms and stuff like that. Like,
Jono, yes. Jono, speak, yes.
John, restart for the love of God.
Yeah, for the
that
love of
wa-
God, Jono.
The
I think he's saying his Wi-Fi.
cleansing of the
He's still trying to
water.
talk. He can't hear us telling him to restart.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this stream is
Hey,
worse. than the
someone
first
tell Jono
episode.
to restart in chat so I can highlight it and he'll see it on his screen.
What a mess.
Jono said I hear everything. Well, we can't hear or see you, Jono. You're a blur.
He thinks we're frozen.
I'm always a blur. I will restart.
Okay, please do. Just leave and jump back in or whatever.
It's a shocking amount of time to make that happen. As he continued to hear us and respond via text, but not restart. I can't even. understand the thought process.
Why'd you keep trying? Right, so we have this scene where, I mean, I'm just jumping past Nynaeve.
How are those letters getting there?
I don't know. Oh, wait. First, who the fuck knows, Tom? First of all. Second of all, first we have this weird, like, Sheriam holding court with a bunch of Aes Sedai talking about the new novices, Egwene and Nynaeve.
Also weird.
Yeah, I just, like, I don't understand the whole point of this, other than, like, I guess they're just talking about very powerful novices, and they're all kind of mutually concerned with it. But
I guess, how is it any of their business? Everything about the Aes Sedai is weird.
that's sort of what I'm wondering.
Just the way they've set up the entire power structure in the tower, the way everyone interacts, like all of it is different and weird. All of it, the warders, all of it's not.
Yeah, there's a scene later on when the warders are like talking with the Aes Sedai about whether or not Nynaeve should go into the arches, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's really
bizarre. Saying words. What's happening? And Sheriam like looks at them both. And granted, this is episode 2 stuff, but I mean, like Sheriam looks at them both, and they're like, and she's like, "Oh, I'm considering what you're saying," and I'm just like, "Why? Why are you considering anything they're saying?"
I mean, all right,
that's weird.
That's my problem. Everyone's like, "Oh, the story changes. Get used to it."
Said, I think Jono looks better this way.
And I'm constantly just like, but they're not even getting like the core of the characters, or even like groups of characters, right? That's sort of like the part of the. I agree with you. The power structure is all odd. I don't know how to divorce myself from these feelings and just look at it like as its own thing. And then, but if it's its own thing, I guess I'm not interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
Like I'm frustrated and disappointed, and then I wouldn't watch it if we didn't do the show. But then we do the show, so I'm like, I guess I have to watch and just complain the whole time. I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, well, so again, like your complaints are valid as long. Oh, Jono's back. Your complaints are valid as long as there's something behind it. But unfortunately, most of what's behind our complaints are just like, why change this? Why change this? Why change this? Why change this? And it's just like, I don't understand. It's very difficult to look at the rest of the show without seeing what could have been if they had
if they made a Batman movie and instead of Bruce Wayne, his name was Will Blaine, and every time they called him Will, I'd be like, why do they do this?
Exactly. There's a thing in this show. So they did it a lot in season 1, but there's like a thing in the show that drives me fucking insane. And it's how frequently they talk about Rand or just the Dragon Reborn in general as just the dragon. And then the only time they said Dragon Reborn in season 1 was when it was the flashback with fucking Luce Theron, and he refers, and she literally goes, "Well, you're the Dragon Reborn," and he's like, and they're discussing it like that's normal. I'm like, he's not the fucking Dragon Reborn, he's the goddamn dragon.
Well, I mean, if it's real.
Well, sure, but he's the one who called himself the dragon, and then Rand therefore is the Dragon Reborn.
No,
it's just fucking goddamn it.
Not this time, dummy.
They call Rand the dragon like 17 fucking times in season 1, and they're doing it again already in this season, and I'm just like, why the fuck is it so hard to just say the word reborn after the word dragon? Is it really that bad? Like, does it fuck your dialogue up that much? Anyway, that rant over.
Yes.
It's just one tiny thing that I'm just like, why the fuck on earth are they changing that?
That's my everything. There's so many things that are changed that are just like, this wasn't necessary.
It's more akin to Hogwarts. Is that really surprising? Actually, most of my notes about the tower are just like, this seems like they're at Hogwarts. like it's just Hogwarts. Like Nynaeve literally finds the room of like a secret passageway. I mean,
what if that was the note from Amazon? Could this be more like Hogwarts?
I know the tower has secret passageways, but damn.
I'm the fact that there's a route from the tower to this city is like, I don't mind like a secret shit in the tower itself. Why not? Right? That could happen. But into the city seems like the exact opposite.
Okay.
Jono.
No, let me write a note here in the chat. If you're on Wi-Fi, switch to cellular.
He's just Jono. Stop shaking your head. We can't
Or
understand what you're saying.
vice versa.
Lady of the Balkans said, "Why? Tell me why, for the love of God, is Leandrin Sedai need so much screen time and so much effort to portray her as not villain?"
I know. Why are we?
English is my third language? If that's your third language, great job, because that made complete sense to me.
What? I don't understand the effort to make her sympathetic or why this was needed at all.
Escape Tunnel does make sense, Peach. I was giving them a hard time. You're right. It's just another thing that makes it feel like Hogwarts. That's all. Also, of course, the tower had secret passageways.
But I mean, that's a legitimate question. Why do we need? Why this much time with Leandrin? What's the point?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Why is she Nene's weird mentor?
So,
does she have a son or a nephew she cares about? A man?
The old man?
She's in charge of everything, kind of, in a way.
Yeah, that's another thing that's weird. She's all over the place. She's talking
She
to Matt,
appears to be
she's talking to Eve. She's interacting with Shariam and the novices. Like, I'm just like,
everyone and everything, and like barely held at bay from just taking over entirely.
Hey, Jono's cell phone's out of the stream.
There we go. I don't understand the structure.
Hey, Jono, we can hear you.
Hi. Is that better? Oh, all right. Well, yeah. Hey, look who it is. It's your friend Alex.
Twitter Rashir said, "So the shock of the betrayal hits harder later," and and that's very possible. And but especially for non-book readers, like they're gonna see that and just be like, "What the?" She cared so much about, like she even says out loud, like, "I care about Nynaeve and like where she's going and how strong, and I want her to get there, and I want her to be powerful." And she says it to Nynaeve in a different conversation too. And it's just, all of that sounds real, but it's also going to be like a cool, like, oh, guess what? I'm Black Aja. And like, fuck, kind of thing. And then like, which is, so maybe all of that was a lie, or, who knows what her reasons are.
But I mean, if you betrayed the Aes Sedai correctly, any Aes Sedai betraying you to the Shanshin and becoming a Dark Friend would be shocking.
Yeah, pretty much any of that would be shocking.
If you failed at that task, then I suppose, you need to set this up a little more strongly. Yeah. Also, I mean, she's strongly hinted as, a villain constantly throughout the book anyway.
I forget what she do in the first book, or in the first season. She was there when they captured Logain, yeah?
Yeah.
I think so.
Jono's crotch can. That's correct, Brother Dan. So I mean, so she's definitely been a character that of some importance, but again, I didn't count the time. I was too busy fucking with my own internet, apparently. But I think she takes up more than all three Ta'Veren in total. I think I said that earlier, but she's on screen so fucking much. It's insane.
It's really, I mean, I think she does a great job, and she
actress is great.
Chews up the screen in terms of actor wise. Like, yeah, the actress is great. But it's one of those things where I'm just going like, that's great and everything, and I'm glad she's there. The Matt scenes I get, like that part makes sense. Her interactions with the Nynaeve, not so much.
I just kind of found it boring.
Yeah, but I mean, like they did the way they get Matt back involved in the story has to somehow tie to season one, and the only thing we have from season one is Moraine going like, "Tell them to pick up Matt Cawthon. He's somewhere in the city. Tell the Red Aja or whatever." Like that's the
She said to tell Leandrin. But does that make sense for Moraine to say that either? Fuck it. That's we've already quibbled about that.
So at the time she sent that letter, she still didn't know it was Rand yet, right? I'm almost positive. Like she sent that like before Rand really reveals. So she was just like trying to tie up loose ends. Like if it's Matt, like I need to know, and it needs to be handled. So I think that's what she was doing.
But if it's Matt, like, why a Red? I guess because you think he's a channeler. But if you think he's a channeler and you think he's the dragon, then why the fuck are you sending a Red Aja at it? Like none of it makes sense. Anyway, what's next song? Next
song. All right.
If you want to go to the next thing, it's probably about Leandrin. So
no, it's Perrin, and we started to talk about it, but it's Perrin and Loyal and the Shenarians hunting for the Horn.
I I don't hate this too much, although
I
it's
don't
weird to see.
Joe, look right in the background. Pony Express. That's
Is it weird that Perrin's writing a note, considering
Tom,
that like
that's
my
ridiculous.
biggest?
It's not the Pony Express. He ties it to an owl, and he sends it to the owlery on the top of the White Tower.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a rookery.
when they separate, they're like wondering if they're ever going to see each other again.
Perrin
And
sending notes. This would have been
Perrin's not-
refreshing.
This strongly tied to Gwyn and Knave. And instead, like, he can just write them letters all the live long day, and they're all best friends, and they're barely separate. Like, that's annoying. Why is that in the show?
Yeah, they shouldn't be able to communicate, is what you're trying to say. Like,
Yeah,
they should
honest.
be surprised when they get somewhere in Falma and like Perrin's there. Like, they should
that-
be like, "Oh shit, Perrin's here."
Is
I'm
this
not
how we're
upset with
supposed
this
to-
yet.
is
Yeah,
it a
no,
device
I'm not either. But it's a little.
get inside Perrin's head so we can.
To me,
understand
this actually takes one
Yeah,
of
maybe.
my biggest issue in the Wheel of Time books is actually the fact that these guys all know how important they are to their lives, not just like as friends,
and
sometimes,
don't communicate.
but they don't fucking communicate. So if this dickhead's actually writing a letter, congratulations, you're doing way better than your book counterpart.
Fair
I
enough.
just, yeah, that in no way is like troublesome to me. Although I guess it's a massive departure from the books in a good way.
But
Gwyn sent letters home in the book.
Perrin?
Draft
Like,
said,
we-
but I mean, Gwyn was at the tower like learning for months on end. Like this,
Yeah,
is,
where
like,
there's couriers
yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever.
and there's
He's not
So,
in the
assumedly,
middle
she
of
has
the
access to
countryside
the
hunting
system of
down the
mail.
dark friends.
The mail system definitely bothered me too. It seems like, I mean, I know there's passage of time, but like with what's going on just in these first few episodes, but like that's not really conveyed super well.
I think that's
then-
a huge issue.
And then, so that's a thing. Like they're getting a letter he just wrote, but then I'm like, well, how far ahead did he write that letter? Like, is it getting there in a few days? Like, I don't.
I think
Who is he
Tarvel-
sending?
I think-
Is he sending it
right
through post out of town? Like,
I
is
think
that
it's
how that
right-
works?
I think it's right over there.
He's just
So-
a paper airplane style.
Yeah.
Just
So
gets
there
in
is-
the Queen's window. Woo, I got
I think he's actually handing it to them. We just don't see it.
just
Read this when I'm
Tom,
gone.
Tom, here's
Hey,
your letter.
yeah.
There is going to be a couple issues, and we've got a little bit of framing for timing as far as like how long Matt's been in prison. But my biggest concern, and why I'm glad that my internet fucked off, is this thing fucking behind me.
Yeah.
This map, which
They're
I
really
don't-
far away.
Yeah, doing great here. That's how you do phones. Because where they end up when at the end of episode 2, where the Shanshan catch them, is in Falme, and where they start is obviously in Shinar. So the fact that you're telling me that they walked 1,000 fucking miles with no other thing is awful, and like there's no concept of that in these things. There's no Lady of the Balkans, by the way, is definitely a
Just crushing it.
yeah.
That's just the Ice and I WhatsApp group that they have with main characters, which in this show are not main characters.
Yeah. Well, main characters
get
for us. For the
main
show,
characters
they're
for
the main characters.
You said also, where did he send it through? Most likely it would be peddlers who carried the mail. I agree with that. And then also that would take forever. They're going to stop at
Nope.
every town along the way.
Nope.
Yeah.
It took no time at all, and it was fine. But
This is
I think-
priority mail. Go straight to Tarvalon. Can I sell some stuff along
Yeah.
the way? No.
no, yeah,
No.
I gave you 2 coppers, dickhead. Get there. Yeah, just you've been paid.
Just one rider with like 6 horses that he's like killing along the way to get there and then deliver the letter to
Yeah.
and then right back again.
So that was something that I liked, the idea that they could communicate through letter. I hated there's just so much going on with distances.
I did like the relationship with Loyal and Perrin in general was awesome. Like the extension of their, clearly they've spent time together. Friendship was fun. I liked how they were teasing Uno. Like all of that was good.
Yeah, no, I think that's going well. But again, I don't know. I still don't love how Loyal looks. But fuck it, I guess.
So here's the thing, and I know it's been some time and everything, but like, why is there zero mention of how Loyal's not dead? like not one mention of it. And like I get, like as a book reader, like I understand that people can be healed and like from wounds, and clearly the dagger isn't quite what the dagger should be in the show, because we've seen people get stabbed by it and they don't turn into a giant
black and
black skin bag of pus. But I mean, like, so I get the dagger is slightly less instantaneously lethally deadly. I understand that, but he was stabbed multiple times, and that is the last time a show viewer saw him. And there's literally zero mention of the fact that he's not dead. And maybe that'll come in a flashback later, but like, again, as a book reader, I can buy it and I'd be like, oh, well, maybe they'll explain it later. But as a show watcher, I'd be like, what the fuck? I thought that guy died in the last episode of season 1.
I forgot about that entirely.
He got
That's why I did rewatch it.
Stabbed like 20 times.
That's normal.
That kind of ruins the dagger too.
Yeah, it does ruin the dagger a little bit.
So,
I mean,
so
not a little
there's
bit, it ruins it a lot. It's pretty amazing in the book. It's terrifying.
It is terrifying in the book.
yeah. There's a couple pieces where they like, we can explain it later and it'll have a bigger like impact on you, like in episode 3. But by the time like episode 3, I think the naive twist works better than at first. I was like, this is like, I actually said to my blow up doll, I was like, this better be a fucking like, you know, viewing kind of thing, or like not really a viewing, but dream-like sequence, and it, you know, it is, because otherwise like I'm losing my fucking mind. And eventually that payoff actually worked, but here like I don't know what they're holding back as far, because you're right, like if you got stabbed that many times, I don't care if you're a strange, you know, wooden looking man, you're just stabbed 20 fucking times. I don't
mind the loyal,
because his heart's in his knee and his liver's in his shoulder. He's
jokes.
You thought you got me in my lungs? They're right here, buddy. You missed.
My hands.
Yeah.
From another dimension.
Like a hand breeder. By the way, one thing that also fucking killed me. Uno here in this sequence says that he was on Fane's trail in Watch Hill, and I about fucking lost it, because Watch Hill is obviously the fucking Two Rivers.
Loyal was only mostly dead. Again, obviously, because they healed him. But like,
tell us that.
Yeah,
I enjoy,
or tell the viewer that. I mean, again, as a book reader, I get it immediately. Like moving on, but as a viewer of the show, I'm just like, what? You didn't say one thing about. Like, I
enjoyed Loyal making jokes at Uno's expense and laughing at him like to his face, because that's completely in character as well.
Yeah, but I don't. That part of a character like that change doesn't bother me too much.
I guess. I like the characters as they are. Also, Uno just seems like a dickhead now that's full of braggadocio and is actually like fucking incompetent, and everyone's laughing at him like, you know, like, okay.
Oh yeah, Uno, you're real badass. And he's like, I am a badass.
How did this happen?
It's a little much, because I think the actor, like, you know, like, we actually know the dude a little bit. He's actually fantastic, and he's a huge fan of the books. And like, you know, kind of a weird thing to do with him is to take him a little out of character.
Yeah.
They turned Uno into Ben Stiller from Tropic Thunder. Where
I would watch the fuck out of that.
Yeah. Like, why
you said, assuming the Hunt of the Horn is still authorized by the Amirlan in the show, it's possible Ingtar was sending messages to the White Tower, and Perrin sent his letters along with.
Oh, I don't know if you know about this, but the Hunt for the Horn, it's fake.
He means the actual like group of Shadowirians that are actually going to hunt down the Horn, not the Great Hunt for the Horn, where a bunch of kids look for it. But I mean, I get that. Points. But I mean, I don't know.
What do you think of Perrin's ability to view shit?
Sorry, but if they're using carrier pigeons, it'd be hard to justify the extra weight for Perrin's personal message. I mean, they might do it if Perrin was as.
Oh, birds have hollow bones. How long was this letter really? What I think about this ability
to view shit, swallow carry a coconut?
I hated it.
Real question.
I hated it so much.
Anyway, so the actual question, Tom, you were answering about his ability to view things.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I did not like it much. It looked way too close to what we see Min doing later. Like one past, the other one future, I guess. So congratulations. But I did not love it. I did like Elias though. Elias I thought was actually a pretty cool character.
Elias.
Yeah.
A little more mystical than I was expecting.
Also, it does answer our question about Perrin.
Yeah,
Though. Like the closer he gets to the wolves, the more constant the golden eyes will be. So that was like a big thing with me with Perrin. I'm like, come on, are they just gonna give him golden eyes already? And like clearly they will at some point.
Yeah.
So again, I'm fine with that now. So like all the times where it flashes on and goes off, I'm like, okay, I get it.
I don't
I like
expect him to
that
be
stuff.
more gruff, less mystical. Instead, he's just
mystical.
Take away the golden eyes. I don't think he looks that mystical, really. Like I had the same thought, but if you just take away the eyes and just concentrate on what he says and what he's doing, it's actually pretty.
Yeah.
It's not
I think
bad.
it's just kind of a, I don't know.
Next.
All right, so Jono, you talked about
Yeah.
the Perrin getting the wolf vision. So so we get a little golden eyes, and then he sees this, which is I think fucking awesome. And then
That's someone groping a woman, right?
sees a girl. It's Padden Fane stabbing her.
Oh.
So how they were going to do the wolf visions was an interesting thing. I don't know if he'll be I wonder if he'll be able to literally communicate with them like he does in the books, or if it'll be more like like vague impressions like that of past things that they witnessed.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what they're conveying is that they like either saw it
That's what they're trying to show us. Like eventually we're going to find out that the wolves saw this and they're telling him.
Yeah, there's a whole
they
wolf
saw
network.
it, or they were able to sniff over the area and put a picture together of what happened, and then send that image to him.
Tom, your thoughts?
I don't like it.
That's correct. I don't either.
Well, what else would you want?
I don't know if you have to visualize it, and
Yeah,
nothing, but these powers of, his heightened senses. It's literally the same as Wolverine, which they've done in movies and television for quite some time. It's really not that hard to.
You're so obsessed with X-Men.
To visualize and explain. But he can. All right, so he can sense generally what happened in an area. Like he would know if somebody got stabbed there, maybe just by smelling it. But like, I don't understand the visions unless we're saying the wolves are. He's not.
Look,
the wolves are
saying,
talking to him, but he's not recognizing it, and he just thinks he's seeing visions, and eventually he'll realize it's a wolf talking to him, and like, no, there was a little girl stabbed here.
That
trying to tell you now.
Sniffing violence. I don't like it. I don't know if that's exactly what they're saying, though.
No, a little bit. It seems a little bit like they're trying to combine
a little
it with
bit, maybe.
Huron,
I just don't
they
know
didn't
if
need.
that's...
You didn't need to combine it with Huron at all. Just write Huron out. I get that.
Yeah. Losing Huron.
To be fair, Fane could still be groping her.
See?
Why can't it be both?
Yeah.
Why can't it be both? Why can't it be murder and groping?
Grabbing a tit and stabbing the other.
Fane.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's just stick on that. Look, if it's. I don't know.
Is it a manifestation of his Tel'aran'rhiod visions? Maybe. I mean, so again, that's so maybe they're doing it that way. Like maybe it's like they're viewing it through the world of dreams somehow. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm just saying. I feel like when Elias does eventually sit down and tell Perrin more about what's going on, we might have a better understanding of like what exactly he's seeing and how he got this vision at this point.
I don't know.
It's a little too early to judge it too hard. I guess.
I hate Ayush's idea. I hate it far less than I should. Like that actually has some sort of like, oh, okay.
It's not the worst.
It's not the worst.
Perrin is dreaming enough. Well, we agree with that.
All right, Let's get back to next up. Should be what?
Let Tom finish his thought.
Tom finishes all the damn time.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, if we're talking about it this much and we're so confused and annoyed, and then we're speculating on maybe something will happen in the future that explains this better for us, and then we won't hate it so much.
That is
seems poorly executed.
Very fair assessment.
It seems like we're bending over backwards to not be mad about it.
Very fair assessment.
Whoa. Stop. I did not say I was not mad about this.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Joe, you're obsessed with this.
Just another scene of that.
What? I missed this fucking part.
Oh, it's just
Joe, just watch porn.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You know, you can jerk off on the TV. Or watch
so we cut back to Doman and Moraine negotiating, and I do kind of like the little quick little insight into the sea folk type of negotiations, and how
I fucking love
just
this.
so thoroughly confuses him. And she's like, "Here's a coin for that one poem I wanted." Just kidding, I don't want the Quindalar.
Tricked you.
I loved it. I thought it was actually pretty well done.
Alright.
Although I did think the poem itself seems a little fake, but whatever. You know what? Dark prophecies
Dark
or whatever.
prophecy?
Yeah,
It's gotta
weird.
be, right?
That's exactly what I assume it's dark prophecy or something like that. But again, there's something weird to me about having to stage Broken Quaindalar the way it is, as opposed to it being like obviously.
Well, it also
presumably
indicates
Seal,
since he has a cracked piece and he didn't get it from the same place Moraine
that another one is broken.
that another seal is also broken. So I mean,
Yeah.
like there's more to it there.
I did always picture it as more like thick pottery than
That's exactly what I did.
crystal like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's correct or not.
No, it is. It's actually
picture
described
Beldome
exactly as
and
thick
Pluto,
pottery.
so I don't-
Yeah, it's exactly thick
Pottery.
pottery. But also he doesn't. He has a mustache.
I mean,
so
maybe visually for the show, they just wanted it to
Opposite
be a
Pluto.
little bit more
Yeah.
like visually representative. of
Yeah.
it.
I'm okay with it. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
it of all the
This is
things,
just me talking about it.
it doesn't bother me too much.
Alright.
It is the dark prophecy for sure, right?
It,
It's
it,
gotta
it-
be, right?
it's
That
fucking
seems
better.
super. That seems super.
He mentioned
clear.
something about it being written in blood or something. Like
Yeah,
a poem
Which of
written
course
in blood.
calls, hello,
I don't know,
blood.
you-
Hello.
Yeah, blood calls blood. Hello.
you guys seemed like that was like in question. I was like, oh, I thought that was super.
I
obvious.
mean, it's in question because they haven't told us, and if they haven't told us outright, then with this show, anything
Yeah.
can change.
Yeah. Hey
Like,
Tom,
so-
how fucking dare you? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's in question because it hasn't been said outright, and even when it is, sometimes it changes later.
yeah. Do you know who the dragon is? Do you know what Rand is?
Yeah, because I'm
It's in
not sure.
question. It's in
Yeah.
question, you dumb dick.
We didn't know until the last episode.
Why would anyone buy Broken Quaindalar? It's already faulty.
Really funny. Look,
Well,
it
then,
never
wow,
breaks, but it's broken. That's a really good point.
I mean, it's definitely a good point.
he's going to represent me in all my business dealings going forward because I'm asking the wrong fucking questions.
It's valuable because it's unbreakable.
Well, this is clearly not it.
I mean, I guess you would buy it as a curiosity. Like, look, broken. I mean,
The problem is it's the second seal broken. I mean, I can't even. Lady of the Balkans is very upset about this shit.
no, it is the second seal because that's what Lance comes out in the blood.
Here comes Lana teaching us about threesomes.
Yeah.
As Ace said, I do.
I mean, you know, it's super normal.
We skipped out before we get to Alana's three-way.
Well, we way past that.
No, before we get to the
No,
conversation about it.
Yeah, there's conversation about it. Yeah,
Nynaeve briefly is fighting her two warders,
that is true. Yeah.
and this irritates the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I didn't. Again, the importance put at the feet of these two guys in this episode and the next episode are so fucking bizarre to me. Like, I
Don't
understand.
forget previous episodes.
and the previous episodes. Yes.
But again, I don't
there's
mind.
Beldome. Wait, we forgot to say that Beldome was like, oh, there's two guys in hoods. Like, they've been looking at me, and he's like, did you see their faces? Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, but the swallow, it's a shallow ship. And she's like, then stick to the shallows. Get out of here.
He never said what hood it was. It was like, actually, it was white hoods, way different issue.
No, he said they were wearing black, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But yeah, so I'm right there with why the fuck are we having this? Like, Nynaeve being able to
I
fight
don't know. Shave that
really
man's upper
well.
lip. That's all I.
God damn it.
Can't get over it. Can't get over it.
But Nynaeve being able to fight the two warders clearly well. Not going to win.
They thoroughly beat her with very little effort. I don't disagree with that assessment. I think.
I don't know. She looks like fairly competent. Again, she's fighting two warders. It shouldn't be one.
No, she's fighting one at a time.
Here's the question: why does this scene exist at all?
Because it's supposed to.
Because she's friends with them from season 1, I guess. I don't know.
And she's not learning anything besides how to fight with warders because she's not learning anything.
Holy shit, man!
Tom, you're
I
closed-minded.
understand her
kid.
going to the two people in the tower, aside from, like, say, Lan or maybe some of the other orders she randomly met that didn't kill themselves last season, and like asking for like advice or like kind of just still being friendly with them. Like, I get that part, but the training with them part is weird.
I'm glad we're establishing how well Nynaeve can fight with a knife.
Yeah. I hate the entire neutering of all the warriors, Lan especially.
Comes as previously on X-Men.
Yes, it's true. Drab is also correct. But anyway, back to the more important
shitty
part.
wrestlers look confident. Yeah.
Next scene, Joe.
Where are we at in your notes? In a new sword fights, Alana advises. Oh, it's Alana.
Yeah. This is the best scene in the entire show.
Whoops.
It's actually going to look exactly like that when she's done, except the sword's a penis.
I like how she's just like, well, when you start experimenting, and the Queen's like, what now?
Yeah, just like.
Can you go back to the part where you tell me about the one power and not what the fuck you're talking about?
Joe, you're going to feel it deep inside and just follow that with your fingers. Yeah.
I mean, look at the mystical Aes Sedai.
Also, in all seriousness, it really bothered me how much they were like overly pointing out that learning to use the one power is similar to like, I don't know, feeling turned on by as a woman or something. I don't know what they're trying to say there.
It's literally almost like an episode of our old shows.
Like, it's the flower, and you feel it, and it opens up inside you, and like, I'm not talking about the one power. And you're like, what the fuck?
Like we read the book and we did a show where we were like, it's like fucking, and then they made a TV show and they were like, hey, it's like,
and they did that.
Yeah. Like,
and we downvote the shit out of it.
What are you doing?
What's wrong with it? Maybe it's us, right? Maybe it's us. Brandon Anderson was listening to us when it came to killing Elaine almost. Yeah, this is our fault.
Who's killing us? I mean, so anyway. Multiple partners juggling two things at once. I get it. Yeah, moving on.
Is every person that's reviewed this show just been like, it's amazing, and here's why I love this part,
and here's why I love it.
And we're just like,
so here's the thing. Like, we're kind of going through it rather quickly because we're doing 2 episodes of one episode of our show. But like, I do have positive things to say. Like, I enjoyed aspects of the show.
For fuck's sake, I'm starting to feel like a real asshole.
Well, you are. You're a big piece of shit.
I mean, it's hard to figure out what they are.
No, I think so. It's really easy, right? All the actors are actually pretty good at their job. All of them are good. Some of them are great. I think that Logain, the actor who plays Logain, is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's weird as fuck. You could toss him in the back of
Leandrin screen time, but she's really good. I think Nynaeve really knows who she is as an actor. I think she's doing it. There was a scene. I mean, just the scene with the. Yeah, let's put it this way. The scene where they go and Alana teaches them in the kitchens, and it's stupid, and we ripped it apart because we're like, what the fuck is she doing teaching a lesson in the kitchens? However, in that scene, Nynaeve displays a level of stubbornness that is only Two Rivers adjacent. You know, like I'm just like, that's like, bravo. That was Nynaeve to a T. She's like, oh, I can't leave till I drink the water. Fuck you. I'm going to drink this dirty water. I'm like,
there's plenty there. I just shouldn't have to look that hard for it. I think all the people look great. The costumes look great. The set design, I don't know how limited they are by budget. Like, some I could take it, some I could. Some is great. Some
of it still looks cheap. It's better than season 1. It's not the fucking Blight, thank God. But some of it still looks kind of cheap.
Cheap per se, but I feel like the scale, especially with the White Tower scenes, is off. Yeah, it's missing.
Everything in Tar Valon is missing.
Like, it felt like she followed Leandrin out into the streets through a secret passage, like really quickly, and they were just out on the street. Like, it wasn't even hard. Like, it looked like anybody could just open the wrong door and be like, "What the fuck, am I in the tower?" You know, like someone could just stumble in from out the street.
Even like,
like that was so weird.
The practice yard, I was like, this seems cramped.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, everything seems a little scaled down. Like the practice yard, why aren't they fighting at, like, in my brain that was always outside and like
it is outside
for sure.
And then it was like in this weird sand pit inside. And I was just like, that was odd. Okay.
Yeah, like the whole point is to go outside and all that type of shit. Remember, it's weird because all the Aes Sedai are getting wet, watching Galad and Gawain, not in the tower.
I do not have positive things to say.
I'm with that person.
There is some things that I like. I'm enjoying.
Yes, the actors do well reading the lines that were written for them.
Queen, you gotta listen your...
And that's a different. Yeah,
they do actually say that on different notes.
Yeah, loosen your asshole. Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Sexual life, life, and in the one power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dial it down on both.
It's actually during the credits.
Queen losing your asshole play by.
Yeah.
That's the Lauren Bell theme's title.
Wait, is there an Eye of the World porn now, or the Wheel of Time porn? There must be.
Oh my god. Well,
I mean, maybe not yet, but soon.
There has to be. Well, maybe not. Well, I'll find out.
it's called Winter Dragon.
That's my hottest take. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Winter Dragon's better than anything that's happened in these entire 3 episodes.
Let the hate flow through you. We haven't even talked about episode 2.
Yeah. Well, let's finish this shit out then.
All right. Well, what do we have here?
So
we got this
Perrin.
quick scene with Leandrin and Nynaeve,
Yep.
which I thought was
Great.
pretty.
This is Swan speech. So this is Swan speech from.
It's Swan from the boat from Feldar.
Yeah. I kind of hate. Again, I like Leandrin, the actress. I'm interested to see where they're going with it, but I hate the fact that Leandrin, the character, is so prevalent. To me, I don't understand why we've taken this character, and maybe it's a way of making a villain more villainous, right? To take her from person to someone.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I thought she was actually one of the better villains in the first 2 books. In the way that she fucks everything over, starting in Faldera and then going into the tower anyway. Like, she's an eminently hateable fucking person. You don't need to make this weird backstory.
Does Leandrin think that she could maybe turn Nynaeve to the red? And
that was the only, or red or black.
But even if that's a possibility, yeah, it would make no sense, because what does she care about the red? She is black, though. But I don't think she thinks she could turn Nynaeve black.
No,
What's happening here? What are we watching?
Unless it's the whole point is to actually get her accelerated and have her just die in the fucking.
Why?
Well, but what about this?
She's trying to kill her? That makes sense.
Then if she's trying to kill her in a way that doesn't again, in a way that doesn't cast doubt on herself, it is extremely complex and unnecessary.
Apparently, the Wheel of Time porn is there. You just have to find it. It's right here.
By the way, I mean, just put Nynaeve in the cell where Matt is and stab her in the heart, and no one's going to know where that is, I guess. Leandrin also has secret cells that no one's aware of or bothers to check out.
I can't wait to get to that shit, because that was a mind melting. Like, I'm liking some things, and then just fell off a fucking cliff. Which, by the way, have you been taking notes of all the cliffs that people are using, Joe?
No, but the moraine scene in the beginning where she's hauling up water is very cliff-like.
Yeah, it's very cliff-like.
It's very rocky hillside she's walking up, and there are cliffs nearby. She's not exactly standing on a cliff, but it's very cliff-like.
I don't remember what episode it's in where Egwene's like in that one room with that fire pit where they melt rings for some fucking reason, and she's backing up toward the railless balcony that's 10,000 feet in the air, and she just keeps backing up because Landon's walking to her, and I'm just like, why? Stop backing up. You're not.
Stop backing up.
She's not a bulldozer. She can just bump into you, I guess. Like, what are you doing?
Why isn't I search sticky oath rod?
Oh, what'd you get?
Tira Washir said, I think she thinks she can turn her to the black, especially if the dark one can turn Rand to his side. Maybe. I mean, like that's not that far fetched. That's not.
It makes sense. They keep mentioning that she's like the greatest weapon the tower has against the dark. So she's obviously there to do something about it. But
besides the Dragon Reborn, no, never mind.
Also, I mean,
if the whole point was to get her into the rings early, so that she'd be like, and then she was lost in the rings, and I got rid of the greatest weapon. Like, just stab her. Fuck. The fuck are you doing? What do you like? What a bunch of effort!
I can barely make
it didn't even work.
What is this? Oh, it's the burial scene. I was like, what am I looking at? I don't know if this comes up next. Yeah, they're burying the dark.
Oh yeah.
The Shinarian Darkfin, and then Elias buries a dog, which I thought was adorable.
I also like this scene from. I think this is the scene where Perrin says, like, I've got so much rage in me, and I don't know what the fuck to do.
This is like his. I mean, it's basically a monologue, but it is more of a conversation. But he tells a lot about it. He's talking to Ingtar about how he doesn't know. He doesn't understand Ingtar's passion towards the Shinarian Dark Friend, and he's like, well, if we hunted down everybody that's betrayed us, like, or wronged us, like, there wouldn't be any Shinarians left or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get that sort of, and obviously it's Ingtar kind of being like, hopefully when you guys find out who I am as a human being, you'll give me a burial. And
Yeah.
you can tell that that's what that is. But Perrin's conversation about I don't think if I found Padden Fane, I would have that same kind of restraint. Or I really like that scene.
We're gonna lose that. We lose that scene with him and Rand. It's gone.
Yeah. It's a lot. Let's get to the episode. Let's finish this shit out because some dickhead named Tom needs to leave here in 35 minutes.
Okay.
Less than that.
I know, but it's 35 minutes now. It's been said to our readers and viewers and watchers.
We cut back to... we did have a weird interruption. That's why we're going so long on this. We cut back to quick scenes during Perrin's letter. Egwene and Nynaeve talking about Perrin's letter. Lan confronting Moraine about what she's not telling him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Leandrin reading the letter to Matt, but excluding the Matt parts. Which, by the way, she's clearly Black Aja, she has to be.
This is our first time seeing Matt, right?
She's going I guess they didn't say anything about you, buddy. Sorry. And
Is
she wouldn't
this
be able
our
to
first
say
time?
if there was literally words about him on the page. So
Did he
Well, technically, she could just
not
read
go
it.
into the ways and then walk himself right into jail?
Is that not what you thought happened at the end of book one?
I don't know. I missed some parts of the show when I was watching.
I was talking about the books. If you read the books closely, that's exactly what happens.
yeah, that's what happens. Obvious. So obvious.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. Well, you're
So
clearly not bad.
they're
You're
mentioning
bad
that
reader.
they're mentioning that it's Beltane, and they all kind of have a Beltane scene, and that's when it finally reveals. / we already knew that because we saw season 1 that Rand's still alive.
Wait, Min was also in Fall Dara, right?
Yeah, she ran out at the end.
And now she's in jail. The same
Is
jail
she?
as Matt.
Yeah, she explains it. In
Yeah, she explains it
episode
real
3,
well.
I think.
I don't know. I honestly stopped listening. I mean, it was on, but
All right.
The rest of this episode is basically just a fight with some fades, and it's fucking awesome. But
This
Lan
is
versus 3 fades, I get it. He loses. That's a lot.
yeah.
But man, I was I feel like he would have done a little bit more.
I feel like you would have won.
Yeah, I don't. This is. I liked it and hated it at the same time. I thought it was. At first, I was real excited. I was like, "This is gonna be fucking because it's a cool battle." What happens, right? That there's a drag car actually instead of 3 fades, but I'm okay with the change.
Yeah, that's
yeah. It actually.
Don't even put him in the show.
Yeah. Don't put. I'm fine with that. Fuck the drag cars.
Tricking a fade to appear behind you in a shadow and stabbing it
It's
through the
pure
throat
darkness.
is outside of Moraine's skill set.
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you?
No.
But then, Lan not doing well enough at this fight is a little disappointing.
Also, we saw Fire Sword in the trailers, and I was like,
I
Fire
know.
Sword? And then it
The
turns
first time
out
they show a
it's
fire
just
sword is James.
fucking Varen's Warder?
Fuck.
It's Varen's Water, not Atlas. So it's actually Tom. That's Varen's Water.
Yeah.
I just
No,
said
I know, but
James.
it's not Rand is the point. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
Also,
the
guess
next time
what?
we see a fire sword, it's like whatever.
Guess where they are? They're on a fucking cliff overlooking.
Are they?
Yeah, they're on a cliff. I cover your ears for some fucking reason, and she's over on a cliff
Oh,
overlooking.
Why did they say cover your ears?
I don't
Also,
know that either.
the little trick with the Moraine might be channeling thing was kind of cool. She looks down at her hand, and she's like, and then the one power starts to flow, and you're just like, what? So Rand's, Lan's words to Moraine are basically like, "What aren't you telling me?" Is that because he's just laying half dead on the ground and he demands to know what's going on? Or I thought it was alluding to the fact that maybe that was her starting to channel a tiny bit, and it
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought it looked like she was cracking through, if it's a shield, cracking through it or not.
Yeah.
Look at her looking down because she's on a cliff. But I don't know.
Fire sword.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, come
It
on,
makes
it's
it
awesome,
so less interesting.
So
it
less.
does. It does kind
You
of.
mean
It does
much
kind of rob
less?
that.
Yeah.
Much less. Yeah.
No, so less.
So less.
It's a very dark scene.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes, especially when in the next episode, where I had to like put on subtitles because I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
All right. Before Tom leaves, or as Tom leaves, rather.
Well, he's going to get a beer.
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at some of these comments. Either Massima or Ingtar is a dark friend, but not both. Huh.
So is that
Well,
Massima who's like doing all the fucking like badass sword fighting on the side? Who doesn't like when you pause it doesn't give
Is
him a
that who
name.
that is?
If it is, then Massima's fucking awesome. Like because
Hey,
he's gone
ripped.
nuts.
Do you see that guy?
Yeah, that guy's hard.
Fucking Jesus
Right
Christ.
fucking here, man. Yeah, that guy's arm is like it's Daniel Radcliffe stuff. It's my new favorite. Yeah.
Apparently, the Aes Sedai and the Borderlanders have the same burials. I noticed that too, Wildman Wyatt. That was weird. It was a weird one for me.
That's a weird one, Wyatt, then. But you know, so I guess this is the end of the episode, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right. So I mean, final thoughts you got, Joe? Or do you want to just push into episode 2?
Drab said Lion lost his water powers when Moraine lost her ability to channel. Did he? Because he even says, I should have sensed the fades in the next
so there's a lot going on with that, and that comes to this dumb and I dumb fucking question of whether or not she's shielded, stilled, or burnt out, which, you know, the last two should still be relevant.
Yeah, if you have a burning sensation in your sword for more than 4 hours, seek an Aes Sedai for healing.
One who may or may not have been shielded or burned.
It would have been really great if that old man warder took a blue pill right before that scene. Just like, and then went into font.
Like a concoction from The Witcher, but it's just Viagra?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But like, I don't know what to think about what happens with Lan, because, and why he could or could not. Like in the books, obviously it makes sense. They have been shielded by Leandrin. Or, I assume it's Leandrin.
Says, I should have. And then she says, yeah, you failed me. As in, like, it feels pretty clear that he was either too angry and not paying attention, or I don't know, one didn't realize she was riding off into the darkness unbeknownst to him. But like, you know, there's something there that he wasn't aware or feeling out far enough or sensing far enough that she was.
She is like, I can't tell if this is pretty much what Rand does in book 2 of like trying to drive friends away to like,
because masking the bond wouldn't affect his ability to like sense dark or like shadows.
Not that we've ever seen, but this is, you know, a whole new world filled with fantastic points of view. Yeah. Oh, look, it's a Tommy Bear. Did you get another beer, Tommy Bear?
Tom's back. All right, ratings. Ratings for episode 1. Jono. I already know Tom.
I'll stay right where I am.
All right, 5.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom? 0.
It's 1 to 10 times.
Such a piece of shit.
How dare you even associate Billy Zane with this show?
How many Billy Zanes is it? Is it at least 1 Billy Zane? I know it's not 10 Billy Zanes. I know it's not on fire, but is it like 1 Billy Zane?
It's negative 10 Billy Zanes.
Negative
not
10
that
Billy
bad.
Zanes. That's not how that works.
It's not that bad. Joe, what do you think?
Writing Tom down for a 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. Episode 1 was a lot of back and forth, or like a lot of setup. There was a lot of like quick scenes, rapid fire. There was a lot of weird shit happening.
Yes.
But on the scale, I don't know. I give it a 6. Yeah, there you go. I give it a 6. Not the worst. Not the worst episode on the planet. Oh, Johnny, you muted yourself.
That was intentional.
Like,
I'm getting a beer.
Things you like are just as a work of art.
I will say it's kind of I don't know. I think we said.
I
it
think I
before.
said this a lot last season, but like the fact that there is a show for me to watch is like at least a 5.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how bad it gets,
a show about
maybe,
what?
maybe a little less.
But a show about what?
You can watch
not a
it.
show about-
You should be
it's
able to
not
watch
a
a
Wheel of
little bit of Wheel of Time and a Wheel of Time. show.
It's not a Wheel of Time show.
I don't think I'm drunk enough for the story I was going, or the allegory I was going to give.
Story or characters.
I'll give it a 5. Ayush says. All right. Oh yeah. By the way, chat. Feel free to chime in with how many Billy Zanes you would give this episode.
Yeah. So, but because I'm dumb, I'll just say, like, sometimes you're like, man, I just really want to get laid, right? In this case, is it really getting laid if you're getting raped? Maybe. But
Lady
give it a 5.
Lady of the Balkan says, I give it a 2 only because a lot of people in the Balkan Peninsula are now reading this book.
Hey!
If it wasn't for that,
Negative Zane.
mine would be negative Zane. I mean, if it got more people to read the books, then how fast before all those book readers stopped watching the show?
but I don't care. Here's the other thing. I don't care if more people read the books. The series is already done.
Wait,
I will
what?
That's true. Oh, no, I want the fandom.
Well, sure, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I want people to discover. As I drop my phone, like how great the books are, but I want them to just be handled well.
But if you watch this show and then you read the books, you'll read the book and be like, "What the fuck is this? Where's all the fucking?"
I don't think the fucking is what you're missing. I think
now
that
Joe is frozen.
yeah. Oh, Joe is frozen.
Somehow
He
the
was
guy
just-
that sits outside with the crickets is the only one that hasn't fucked up his internet connection this evening.
Also, Joe's face was bizarrely stupid.
There we
looking.
go.
Just pause on.
Good Lord, I have no idea what that was. That was interesting. Sorry about that. Oh, it's again.
I'm not even mad at the show. I'm just frustrated and disappointed. I'm like, I want to see the show, the books brought to life, and then I'm like, I guess I'm still not getting that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, should we be dumb and try to start episode 2?
Yeah, we should be done with episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it. Why not?
Yeah,
We can't not talk about it. That's just not happening.
Go for it.
Why don't we not go through it scene by scene and we'll just discuss it in general?
Tell me how it started and ended.
Well, it starts
I'm
with Rand
having
in
a
a
hard
dream
time.
and everyone's murdered.
I'm having a hard time remembering or separating 2 and 3 because I watched them almost back. I watched
Okay,
the-
so it
went to
started
bed,
with
woke
Rand.
up,
It starts with Rand,
watched-
and then it ends
Yeah.
with Rand meeting Logain.
Oh, okay.
So the very end, so it's somewhere in the middle. He beats up the guy and gets his job, so he can go talk to Logain.
All right.
And at
So
the
let's
very
start.
end, he meets Logain for the first time.
Let's start with. Let's say we're the writers of the show. We get together in a room. We're like,
Yeah.
we can't do portal stones. What should we do? And they're like, what about he's an orderly at an insane asylum? And somebody's like, we don't need any other ideas.
What? So I was rewatching episode 2, and Rand has the dream, and it's actually pretty cool. And everyone's dead, but it's very fast. And then Ishmael kind of fades away immediately. So you're kind of get the implication that he's on a boat somewhere, and he might have to have sex with Ishmael. Oh wait, that's not right. He's he's in the world of dreams, and Ishmael is messing with his dreams and stuff like that, or at least watching his nightmares. I don't know, but it cuts immediately to him fucking Lanfear, or waking up with Lanfear in bed or something, and she comes over and she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "I have to get to work." And the second he said, "I have to get to work," I was like, "What the fuck?" Why does he have a job?
Are we eliminating?
What is happening?
Are we eliminating Asmodean here?
I don't know.
I think we are.
There's a weird thing happening in that, the end of
sword
this.
forms from a senile old man. I thought that was actually, I didn't hate that for some reason.
Picture the Logain from this episode or next episode as the Logain
Yeah.
from the final book. I can't even see it.
That's kind of a fair point. I don't know if I can or can't.
I mean, there's like I don't know. Like, the weird thing is this, right? I don't know what the final season is supposed to look like, and that is like legitimately one of the things that I kind of hate is I don't know what the fuck this story is, right? Like it's just, is it even supposed to be Logain? Is it even supposed to be Rand by the end that I think I know? Like on one hand, like,
I
hey,
don't have an answer for you on that.
Isn't that the point?
I mean, I don't know.
According to Rafe Judkins, by season 3, we'll all feel a lot closer to the books.
Just
Guys.
in my fucking phone here. I hate
Just
having this
recording.
goddamn phone in my hand.
Can I just say that I feel like
a bitch?
they've gone so out of their way to point out that like season 2 and season 3, by then you guys will feel a lot better about this, because I feel like the backlash from excluding the 248 people that circle jerk each other on Twitter a ton, but the millions of people that have read these books across the world that aren't on that group are probably not thrilled with what they've gotten here. You know what I mean?
Realize
and it was too late for them to do anything about it by the time season 1 came out. They'd already written and started filming season 2. So like somebody from on high was just like, get it back to the book and do it fast.
And the whole point.
And I think it's too late for season 2. Like, so I'll be.
I think it was always too late for season 2, and it wasn't just because of.
I'll be curious if season 3 all of a sudden is just like word for goddamn word. I would like to see.
All right, I feel like Amazon was like, make it a mystery, and who's the dragon, and blah blah blah, and they wasted so much time that he's like, okay. And I think he's genuinely at least trying to get it back to where he thinks it should be. I think season 2 is gonna be mostly that.
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I feel like he's not up for the job, and that orders came from on high to do
How
it
do you
right.
get closer to the Shadow Rising in season 3 from this? I don't know.
So
I honestly think you just write it word. I just think you write it word for word from the book and ignore everything you did.
You guys are so wrong. It's obvious what happens. There is no season 4.
Oh yeah, that's also very possible. It's also very possible.
Jokes on you. Go read the.
I don't even think of the show as a representative of the book anymore. It's a very average show by itself. Okay.
I mean, I agree with that, except for
Not
the
bad, Ayush.
word. I agree with that, except for the word average.
It's an average.
It's
show.
hard as fuck. Like, so I will say this: I don't know how to feel about this show, either as the Wheel of Time or in a vacuum, and I don't know how much like my own thoughts are swayed by like because I will say that what I originally wanted was a near perfect retelling, like the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, like most of the Harry Potter books, like the Lord of the Rings novels, not the movies, not the Hobbit, but. You know,
they take a lot of liberties in those movies, and they still did a very good job.
They did take a lot of liberties, and they did do a good job with it. And I think that for the most part, people are universal.
The changes they made sense.
Yeah, again, we're all arguing the same
story.
fucking thing.
We just arguing it out loud, Jono.
I'm adding to it, not arguing.
But as we've gotten further away, and I'm like, all right, how do I judge this thing? Right? We liked the first half of season 1. And then was it episode 6 or 7 where we couldn't stop just dropping feces onto that? Just like, fuck no. Like even our, anyway, we were just, it's hard as fuck to know what the fuck to do here.
First 3 episodes, we were just like, everybody calm down. All right, Perrin had a wife. He killed her. Whatever. Little did we know.
What do you guys think of the way Carahan looks?
I mean,
those are not topless. Like those topless towers are as topless as I am right now.
They're still being built.
I mean, that looks good. There's 4 gate. There's inside of the city. I like that.
Yeah,
it just doesn't seem. Again, the scale seems too small. Like
the scale seems small.
Manor seemed no bigger than my kitchen.
Yeah,
that was the point.
And
was that
I don't understand.
I refuse to believe it.
I don't understand how Celine isn't in.
It was until Ranrayan.
Yeah. Hey, just show the whole episode now.
It could have been his minute. Oh yeah, I'll just show the whole episode and get cut off.
I didn't like.
Again, Elias is awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that this is the flicker scene did kind of like infuriate.
Wait, what?
I mean,
That's
it's
not the
flies
flicker
and stuff.
scene.
I don't care for parent with a sword.
Well, that's
No,
the point,
that's not
Jono.
the
There
flicker
wasn't
scene though. This is the scene with because the flick. Well, I guess that is.
It's dead people with flies on a
Yeah,
table.
Yeah,
and
I
he
was
has a
thinking of
vision.
flicker because isn't that also the same?
There's
like
a
I've
woman
won again.
inside, and there's dead people inside. There's a
But
woman
isn't
in
that
a
what he says
window.
with the "I've won again, Luz Theron"? Flicker.
Yes, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
was
point. So there's a complete lack of flicker.
No, the I
flicker.
want again. No, we're talking about two different things. Joe's
Yeah,
talking
No,
but
about
I want again, Luz Theron.
Joe's
is,
talking about the
Egwene's-
flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the portal stone.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
All right.
yeah. So this
All
is
right,
the
you're
fly
right. I'm mixing
scene.
things up. Sorry.
Wait, are we at the end of the fucking episode? How far?
No, it's like right away.
We're cruising.
Like the
Is
third,
it?
It's like the third scene. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I gotta look at my notes. Hold on. I think I just got caught up yelling about the show that I forgot things.
And they get to the fade being nailed to the door as well.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Although, again, like the gravity of that doesn't seem to hit. Like I feel like they're jamming these like kind of significant things in, and it doesn't seem like it's like coming across as like they should be terrified. And I know they're badass Shannarian warriors, but like they just kind of go casually, like, who could have done that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think it was Pat and Fane? Like, what the fuck? Like, where? Anyway, just very like quick lines of dialogue that didn't seem very like it didn't have any weight to it. It felt like, I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching.
No, you're not wrong. I think that. Sorry, I had some shit and it didn't matter in my notes, so I got confused by a moment. But again, like, visually, it's fucking awesome. It should be awe-inspiring. Like, how fucking weird it is, like you said. But again, it's not. It doesn't quite have the gravitas that it should, just because it's not. They haven't really demonstrated it.
Fades enough to.
Yeah, I don't think we have. Like, I don't think we've really understood.
420 said it would have been better if they came out and said this is inspired by Watt and more than an adaptation. And I mean, he's not wrong. Like it might have like dialed all our expectations back, and we'd have just been like, oh, okay, let's see what they got to show us.
Yeah, I mean, they were just like, there's going to be some changes. Get ready. I'm like, no, you rewrote everything, literally everything.
Some changes. Including
why does Perrin have a sword? Why couldn't they give him some crap axe thingy?
I know, right?
Just why. So I did notice that Ingtar is fighting with like something that resembles an axe with a spike on the backside of it. It's not a spike, but it's close-ish. And I'm like,
it's a halberd, isn't it? Like some kind of like half halberd.
It's something. It's weird. I don't know. It looks like it could be considered a battle axe, maybe. And I'm just like, is that what that's going to be? Is like Ingtar going to die and then like Perrin picks up his weapon and like that's the weapon? And if so, like...
No, if you read closely, Gimli throws him his axe and that's kind of how they get it.
Okay.
It's like somebody printed out the Wikipedia entry for this book series when they created Wikipedia. Before they could create anything. On like dot matrix printer, and then they handed it to everybody, and they're like, write scripts from this, and they're like, I guess we'll try.
So there's a lot kind of. It's interesting how much, because Rand's not involved with this, what the repercussions are later down the line of there being like Perrin versus Peyton Fane is much more, I think, on the docket, which makes sense considering what happens at the end of, or in book 4, the Battle of the Two Rivers. But
you think they're setting that up?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I can only go with what the fuck's in front of me, man. I can only go with.
So, someone did say, I think it was Lady of the Balkans.
Priceless.
What did you say?
We have 5 episodes left in this season, and they told us it covers 2 books. So I guess they will kill and make remaining 5 episodes. So amazing, we'll forget all of this. All right, so he did say this isn't book 2 and 3 in one season. It's parts of 3 and parts of 2, and like it's so theoretically there's going to be some book 3 in next season as well.
Could you imagine?
So it's not
within
just.
within
I
the
guess what
next
I'm trying to
5
say is
episodes?
season 3 isn't going to be The Shadow Rising and moving forward. It's like there's more to what's going on in season 2 and 3. In theory, based on what they've said.
Tom, is this? I guess Joe, is this the podcast or the YouTube channel for those who are looking to cover this show and shit on it?
I hope so.
It's not. I
mean,
I don't want to be that. I don't think it is the show
I
that
don't want it
shits
to
on
be
it.
that.
I think it's just the show that's says
Honest?
honestly how we feel
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, it's the only show that's honest.
That's my only goal.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And it's funny because like we talked about it like offline of like what happens when like like at one point like the official Wheel of Time is like trying to get us like to do things and we're like, no, we're not gonna really do that. Yeah,
I mean, aside from our name,
yeah,
it's also that we don't fully endorse the show.
I will say, I mean, they don't do the worst job ever with the hunt for the horn, with the Schnarians and Perrin. It's just frustrating that Matt's not there and Rand's not there for part of it. I don't even hate the Rand and Celine storyline because it works.
I don't mind that. Yeah, it works.
I just don't like the way that it works. Like it needs to work within the structure of a story that we're.
Yeah, I don't.
What used to.
That doesn't bother me. I think that I'm going back on you, and I'm going to talk right over you. I hate the hunt for the horn here because honestly, when I think about it, the stakes are given at the end of book 1, presumably, or season 1, and then season 2 starts with him like with Perrin just kind of walking. You don't talk about the horn. We don't get the horn. There's no real like. Don't forget what the horn fucking does.
Honestly,
kind of thing.
it's really just Uno saying, "I'm going to be playing a tune on the horn of fucking Bloody Valier or whatever."
They hit a lot. I mean, they hit a lot of the story
of
beats. Is all like within.
Yeah.
It's just
the context, like the
there's
fucking.
no Huron. I don't mind. I don't even mind Huron being replaced with Elias.
Yeah,
like that.
I love Huron.
That all kind of makes sense. Like,
yeah,
especially with where we are in the show
replaceable
versus the
character.
books. What do you think about Rand learning the sword from this old senile old man instead of Lan?
That better not be
It's
what
all
the fuck's happening.
I
Wait.
don't think it is. He only spends a little time with him.
that wasn't Herod Fell, was it?
No, it's Errol.
No, his name's Errol. Yeah.
Errol.
Errol Fell.
Errol Flynn.
Which does sound like Herod Fell mixed
exactly
in
what
two
that is,
names
Tom.
like,
That's
to one.
exactly what that is.
Yeah.
This
Errol.
was badass looking, I will say.
Yeah.
Not that it came across well.
It
Or,
didn't
like,
come across
it didn't
all the
have
way.
the gravity that I would wanted it to have, but it was there sort of.
Yeah. But anyway, so Errol I thought was fine. Again, it comes back to the whole, as Tom put it very succinctly and eloquently, we're coming up with ideas and we ended up in an asylum some fucking how. That'll never not just bemuse the shit out of me.
It's Gremlins too. It's Gremlins too. What the fuck?
It's in the movie.
I mean, who came up with this stupid fucking idea? It's so stupid.
It's so weird.
It's so stupid.
All right.
Fuck
There-
this in the butt.
There are no asylums that we know of, but again, maybe that's an oversight from Jordan, really. But why the fuck is a false dragon moved into an asylum?
Jordan
and that
doesn't make oversight, you son of a bitch! You take that back.
and that asylum is not even in the tower; it's in Carrion.
Yeah, that's weird. So again, like, it would make sense if that was in Tarvalon.
Yeah, fine, all right.
Like, okay, it's a little weird that Rand snuck back into that city, but like, okay, that makes, whatever. And then, but like, Logain being like nowhere near, I don't know. That was just weird in general.
All the way to being stilled or gentled is gone. You don't become like it. You don't lose your soul. You don't become suicidal. You're just like, I'm a little goofy, and I'd like a beer.
No, bottle of wine. Yeah.
So I kind of
like the idea of Rand getting gentle
show,
was terrifying because he'd want to kill himself or he would just fall down and die. And instead, it's just
that's
like
true.
he might be
I
fun
guess
to
what I'm
party
saying,
with.
the only defense of that I would say is that we don't see Logain outside of that, like outside of the excitement of Rand being near him. Like we don't Like maybe that's like, you know, causing him a like oh fuck, Rand's here. I get to talk to the Dragon Reborn or what, you know, like or whatever he thinks Rand is or
But
something.
if you're that mentally destroyed, it wouldn't matter to you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean,
I don't-
Logain comes back in the book, so like obviously that's not necessarily true.
if Rand being there could excite him, maybe if I bought him the Sunday newspaper and he got
I
to
mean,
read the comic,
Leanne
he'd
putting
be
on
like,
some
"Okay."
makeup excited him back into life in the
Sunday
books.
news.
You know?
For 5
It's not that
seconds.
far fetched.
It was he was on the slow descent to death, and she paused it for 5 seconds.
Lady the Balkan said, "Oh, chat, please explain what it means when people in Western podcasts call me a book cloak. I speak English. but I
Oh
don't speak
no!
book English.
Who's
Damn.
who was calling her a book cloak?
Book. Oh no, so no, she was not in our chat, just somewhere else. Book cloak means you like the books and fuck the show. Okay.
Yeah, I love book cloak is actually, when you think about it, like it really puts you into this like you're part of the Inquisition of like so, like it's really fucked up as a
It's
like-
a kind of a dark terminology for someone
Yeah.
that just likes the books. Like I really feel like that's really
It's
because
a
you're
really
calling
weird
people
turn.
that like the books and not the show fanatics. Like
It's a
that's-
bizarre turn for the people to take. Like, oh, all of a sudden I feel like Twitter times filled with Nazis.
Hmm.
Oh man, I like this way more than I probably should.
Ayush said it's not just stupid, it's pretentious. They're trying to do some weird parallel about insane asylum if we're chatting with Rand later. It's so stupid.
So
One of them wanted
again-
said Logain wasted that fine wine. He did. By the time they got that's episode 3, by the way.
Yeah.
But when he does get that wine, he's like, "Let me just pour it and keep pouring, just to make a point." What the fuck did you make me get that wine?
I think one of the things that's really happened here though is like there's not enough like context and like I know maybe not context but like consequence for a lot of these things, right?
Yeah.
If you're just banished to an asylum, don't get me wrong, that's obviously not a great way to live the rest of your life, but that's not what the fuck happens here, right? The whole point is to parade you as a like and degrade you really because A, you're insane.
Yeah, they didn't
you're
want to lose
depressed.
track of him either. They were like really adamant about keeping him in the White Tower until he
Yes,
just
yes.
died.
Like you need to
essentially.
be seen as the pariah piece of shit that you are for trying to do
Yeah.
this.
And I think so. I made this point on the Dusty Wheel. Weirdly, we were like discussing this in great detail, but like we
gonna say,
were
there are
talking
no
about
points
it,
on
and I
this
was
show,
just
but-
like, he still has followers theoretically, and
Yeah.
granted, like he lost his ability
Ability
to
to
channel. But either they do or don't know that, number one, and number two, like he had a fucking army. Like that's
this-
like that doesn't just disappear overnight. And granted, how long did it take him to get paraded back to Tarvalon and all that? And I get all that time wise, but like if you just let him loose, and granted, he's not just let loose; he's in an insane asylum.
With minimal security.
There's pros and cons to what I'm saying, I guess. But
It-
like
so-
the
no, but
idea that his followers would rally and somehow free him, or
there's
is very
context
real.
for that. That's the
Yeah,
War of the Second
like-
Dragon. That's what happens during
Yeah.
Arthur Hawkwing's time. That's how Arthur Hawkwing becomes who he is, because he actually comes to the ironically to the savior of the Tower at the time, because what was it? Gwyer Amsalon is captured by the Aes Sedai, and then all of a sudden his followers rise up to try to free him, and that's
Mhm.
that's the entire arc of how Arthur Hawkwing actually becomes Arthur Hawkwing. Again, deeply ironic and all that shit when you consider that he saved Aes Sedai. But that is there's 100% historical context there. That's why
Yeah.
they don't want that to happen. Same thing with the fucking stilled Amirlan seat, right? They want you to look like you're a scullery made piece of shit. Like you have done something that is to switch a kind of parallel to a different book
yeah, you were
series
pulled down off the
off the
Amirlan
pedestal.
seat. Like
What
yeah,
you have
yeah.
done is flirting with attempting goddom when you're not worthy of it, right? That kind of thing. Like you have really done something horrible for humanity. And the dragon himself is obviously also supposed to be
So that's my
horrible.
point. Like the weight of what Logain has done and how he's being currently treated, which with apparently little to no oversight by the Tower at this
Yeah.
point.
You can get jerked off by some random dude from the foregate.
Well,
Yeah.
if you can get a job at the asylum and go in and just chat with Logan, then presumably if you're one of his followers, which he had an army of, you could go in and break him out, and he could be the figurehead of your army yet again.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
Whether they think you're actually valuable as like that, as that person or not, doesn't mean they won't do it just to have like a martyr figure.
Yeah,
You know,
shoot
like,
some fireworks off and
that's
pretend like you
very
can fucking channel. Yeah.
Yeah, put them. Yeah,
Don't even have to. I mean, there are definitely
just
people
put him on a
that would
wheelbarrow.
break him
Have
out.
Andre the Giant be his head. Wheel him towards an army. They'll all get scared and run away. Like, you
That's
know,
not the
like
same series.
Is he the Dread Pirate Roberts? Leandrin shows Nynaeve some healing for whatever reason. I'm just gonna try to rip through this episode.
Which
Matt
Leandrin's famously good at.
doesn't get caught. I do like the Matt not getting caught scene. Like Leandrin like kind of bursts in on Matt and she's like, "Here's some honey cakes," and he's like, "Are these poison?" kind of thing. And there's this whole like scene of like, I'm like, what? And in your head the whole time you're like, she really burst in that door. And he makes a joke about like, "Are you watching me sleep now?" or something like that.
I didn't see
And
that
then-
at all, but that's all right.
So she walks out and then he goes click, stomp, stomp, stomp.
I loved
click,
that,
click,
by the way.
slide. And like he does that whole little thing, and I'm like, well, that's how he put the dresser back up and got onto the bed in time. Because like they don't really, they show it in reverse, of course, but like I love the little bit of like actual Matt Cawthon we got in that scene of just like
I loved it.
"You're not surprising me, jackass. I can hear you coming from like 300 feet away with all the locks and shit." And I just like, I kind of liked that little bit of real Matt Cawthon that I was getting in that. Like that was.
So has he not bathed in 5 months, nor worked out, nor walked more than 30 feet?
No, that would be insane.
Yeah, that's pretty healthy living. I'm sure he'll be just fine on his own.
Here's a honey cake.
Or maybe that's why he's got to eat all those chickens on that boat.
Do you think that's a honey cake? I think that's probably poisoned Wild Man Wyatt.
Yeah, that's a poison honey cake.
Yeah. It's got Crimson Thorn in there.
We do get Egwene meeting Elaine for the first time in this episode.
That annoyed the fuck out of me too.
Immediately assumes she's a servant. Fuck you, Elaine.
The servants
Then
wouldn't make it to the
Then
goddamn-
insults her room. Fuck you, Elaine.
How did
I
those
don't hate it.
Lines-
I don't hate it. I think it's kind
I
of
don't hate it either. It was good. It was good.
the only thing that's bullshit though is she's been there for 6 summers, which okay, fine. I don't hate that. But if you've been there for that long, shouldn't you know what the novices' quarters look like? It like
Is there honey-colored braids down there too?
oh man.
Yeah, of course she knows what the lady or the novice quarters look like because that's why she brought all those pillows and like decorations. Like she had
So
the
then,
room layout.
wouldn't she know what the others look like? It just doesn't add up all the way.
I
if
think
she-
her point was, why didn't you move in with as much like
Opulence.
decorations as I did?
Yeah, because she's got decorations.
Clearly, no one lives here yet. It's just
Yeah.
a dusty hole.
Well, it's not a nice thing. That should have been the name of the show.
That's what she
Leandrin's
says.
Yeah.
Good casting for Elaine. That's a first. Man,
By the way,
I
Lady
hate Elaine,
Balkans,
but the actress, with an actress this adorable, it's a lot harder. Fair.
Someone's got a crush.
yeah. So Lady the Balkans, I believe,
I
is
don't-
actually
I don't-
Rafe Judkins' burner account.
Yeah,
Like, just over here apologizing.
trolling his own show. Get out of here!
Yeah.
Whoever made this, it's horrible.
It would be really funny.
This is where the warders discuss the Neves testing, and I was
I
like,
hate
"What
this.
the fuck? Why
Yeah.
are they? Why are they involved in this discussion at all?"
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. They
Just
do
moving
discuss
on.
the last battle. There was a weird comment like about like how this is a tool for us to use against the Dark One, Nynaeve being so strong. And there's this weird comment about Leandrin's cabal calling for a vote, and that she's got 3 versus 1. I don't know what the fuck that means. I assume that's like the Red Ajah. Obviously, every Ajah has 3 sitters,
Mhm.
but Leandrin's cabal.
Clearly, Leandrin's pushing for a vote. That part I get.
And I assume this is about overthrowing the Amirlan. That's the only thing we can kind of presume here. But why does she have a cabal? And if it is a cabal, why the fuck are you guys talking with her with any sort of like openness? Like it just it you should be shutting that shit down fast as hell, as opposed to granting her the ability to talk with
Lady of the
one
Balkans
accepted-
said, sorry, I didn't mean to troll here. I was just excited. Listen, I didn't mean
No.
I was completely joking.
I love Lady of the Balkans.
I was completely joking about
To
Ray
death.
Judkins'
To absolute
joke being your account
Love.
as a joke. Like that. Yeah, your comments are great. Don't apologize.
Also, I don't like that we've got people who apologize for themselves.
Yeah, stop
Okay.
apologizing. I mean, Drav even said like a couple 100 messages ago, don't apologize in a tWoTcast show. And I agree. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Do
Wild
not.
Man Wyatt says, you're good, lady. Like everything's
Keep
fine.
it coming.
We
Keep
were
it-
making a joke. Sorry.
Yeah. And only jokes we have are good jokes.
Everyone's welcome here, whether you hate or love the show. That's the point.
Or hate or love us.
Or hate or
We
love us.
Yeah. We get hated a lot.
Yeah. Sorry, Jono. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I probably
Gotta
talked
go.
too much. Yeah.
We have 5 more minutes.
You've
All right.
got 5 more minutes.
You got
I've got
15
until-
more minutes.
I've got until I'm done with this cigarette, then I'm done.
You don't have, like, we'll start a new one.
That's what I said.
Well, no. Yeah, start 2 more, all right?
No, this-
Anyway,
Well, if he starts them both at the same time, Jono, that's not going to help.
so this is where Nynaeve follows Leandra through the secret passage in and out of the, of the tower.
Yeah.
And then the Shinarans, if you pause it on the Shinaran sequence, it actually says that they're at Atwan's mill, which is on Toman's head. On Toman Head. And again, I will show you the thing above me that shows Toman Head.
Baron mentions Toman's head and prophecies and stuff when she's talking with Moraine at the camp.
Yeah, that's in the real book. Kind of.
And, well, she also mentions like, well, also it's kind of weird. We're not going to get 5 or ride 4th and shit. You know, like I don't know. They're just
We don't know that. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
we do.
5 will ride west.
I'm getting 5 already anyway.
That sounds like an animated movie about a mouse.
Somehow they're on the trail and Perrin can write letters to Tarvellen, and also while they're furiously chasing the horn as fast as they possibly can, Min also leaves Valdar at the same time, and unless she just gets like arrested and quickly taken to the tower, like I just don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like how does she get in jail?
it's a tough road to hoe for her.
They arrested her faster than they looked for the horn.
Also, we don't actually know. There's a good chance that she actually hasn't been in prison there for 5 months. That's my
Either way.
assumption.
Oh,
Either-
yeah. I don't think she's in prison there for 5 months.
It makes no
Yeah.
sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's the real factor. Hey, Lady of the Balkans did not leave, right?
I love you guys. Started from the very beginning of your reread podcast. That was a ride. Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right again.
Yeah.
You know, some people. I mean, like most people watching our show, I assume, aren't really like old listeners of the podcast. So it's kind of nice to hear sometimes.
Yeah, it's actually
I feel like that's a long journey to watch our bullshit. Oh, and this is what they've matured into. Fucking idiots.
the same.
It's about loving the books, not hating the show. That's a bonus.
That's a great fucking tagline for those.
Not hating the show. That's just a bonus. Did you guys catch what I assume is supposed to be a Trolloc puppet in the 4-gate party?
Yes, I fucking loved it. I loved
it. It looked like real Trolloc at all. So then I was like, well, how are real Trollocs going to pretend to be those puppets?
I forgot. I saw that and I was like, "Wait, was that it? Was that the whole nod? The whole nod?"
Because it looked like just like a puppet of like the devil or something. It didn't look
It was
like a
awful.
Trolloc.
It was amazing. It was my favorite thing I think of the show.
What was my favorite thing of this
Binged
show?
that shit a year ago. LOL. Apparently, I like torture. That is torture.
That is
Listening to
torture,
us-
yeah, Jesus.
Listening to us on a binge sounds horrible.
My soon-to-be ex-wife wouldn't do that.
Beach said, "I remember when it was just a reread." That's true. I mean, Beach has been around for a while.
Hey, remember we covered book 14 as a read? Actually, 11 and 12 too. Or no, I mean 12 and 13.
No, we reread them.
Did
All right,
we?
I'm out. I'm out after this.
One more. Yep. Is that a new
Thomas.
cigarette? All right.
All
All right.
Tom. All we have to do is cover episode 3, and we're good.
The real question is,
All right,
Well, I
Tom.
watched
Before
it.
you go, I have to. No, before you go, we have to know what your rating, your Billy Zane rating is. Jono, we'll wait for the end. For the end. But Tom, what's your rating for episode 2?
It's a 0. 0 Billy Zanes. How dare you?
God damn it!
Hey, once again,
It's so much.
So
All right,
small.
Tom, I'm putting you down for 1 Billy Zane.
No, you can't associate Billy Zane with this show. He's better.
We
than
can't.
this.
Tom, you can't. 0's not on the scale. It's 1 to 10.
It's 1 to 10, Tom.
Then no
All
rating.
right.
No
All right,
rating.
No rating from Tom. Got it.
All right. Let's see. Where were we next after the?
4-gate party. Rain almost kills a guy to get
hold on,
close to
real quick.
Logain.
No, before that, actually, Varen and
Wait,
Moraine are having a quick
how is-
conversation. This is important because they're actually, as they say, you can see Tarvalon in the background, which means that they're on a cliff.
God damn it. God damn it. No, you're right. Also, the Moraine and Varen conversation when they're at the camp,
Yeah.
she goes, she knows about the dragon. She specifically says the dragon,
Oh, dragon.
not
Is this
the
the
dragon
is-
reborn.
So is this the episode where Rand hunts down the bully and beats the fuck out of him?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's
Yes.
the 4-gate scene.
Exactly what Rand al'Thor would do. Just
Yes.
like the character in the book. Perfect characterization.
Just beats the shit out of some random guy.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they did, Tom, in fairness, they set up that he was not a nice man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He teases
the-
people.
Yeah.
It's so irritating.
He teases old man inmates that are senile in an insane asylum. I mean, he's a piece of shit.
They're not.
I-
These
Then he
are
spends
not.
his nights
these-
drinking and horsing in the 4-gate.
These characters aren't the characters from the books. They just have the same names.
It is ironic, don't you think?
Super.
Yeah, it's like that was one of those like what the fuck? And I think they're trying to like spin it where like Rand well, seems like he wasn't embracing the source at all.
Wait, Tom, say goodbye. We'll pretend like you're leaving. Study your math.
Study your math.
All right, see you, Tom.
Bye, Tommy Bear. Who the fuck was that? Now we
I
can
don't
talk
know.
over each
God
other like we
bless
want
it,
to.
he's finally fucking gone.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Whoever thinks Tom is their favorite is the worst.
Dumb. Anyway, so it's really weird because like he does channel at the end, and that seems inadvertent. And he may actually have beaten him up a little worse than intended. But at the same time, he was already
clearly the madness is like, I mean, there's all kinds of whispers like kill him, like going on in his head. Like clearly they're trying to show a little bit more going on there than
that's like it's holy shit. Here's the thought. What if just like how Jordan thought the book was first the series was only gonna be 1 book, then 3 books, then 6 books, 7, and then 14, Rafe has realized that holy shit, I probably don't have a full series for this. I gotta really make Rand look crazy. And so he's already getting the whispers and shit, just like what happens in book 3 when Rand's going nuts, and he's gonna have to slow it the fuck down. How about that for a parallel? That'd be fun. Yeah, really botched the writing in a couple
going
ways.
crazy too quickly.
Yeah.
Well, there's assumedly there's going to be far less seasons of the show than books of the series, so maybe not. Maybe it's right on pace for a show. Let's put it this way: I don't think there's going to be miraculously like, oh, instead of 8 seasons, we're going to do 17. Like, and they're just going to randomly change the number.
They went to 17.
Did. I think so. I mean, like maybe this actually makes sense that he's going a little crazy already. In terms of the show.
You're not wrong. All right.
Wildman Wyatt, I'm really sad that Tom isn't here for this comment because I'm sure it was meant for him. I'm still waiting for Cape Cast rewatch.
I mean, we can do that. We can definitely fucking do that. I would be interested to know because I, somehow haven't watched the Cape since the first time watching the Cape. I don't know what my deal is. Yeah. I'd be interested to see how closely aligned our commentary is to it. Fucking 10 years later?
Yeah.
When did we do this Cape?
It
was literally 2 homes ago for you.
Yeah, it's a long time. I mean, so long. At least 10 years. Right?
No, it can't be at
No, it
least
hasn't,
10
it hasn't
years.
been that long. It hasn't been that long. I don't know.
It could be 8. Oh, fuck.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Varen talks to Morena about the events in book 2 as if they were prophecies. She does sort of.
Which events in book 2?
I mean, I think he's just means like their casual conversation, kind of like she's like, and then someone will be there, and someone will be like, I don't know. It's very vague. Their conversation is very vague. Maybe it's the Tome and Head stuff. Maybe it's
I do love her, which is the dragon speech, by the way. And honestly, take
you said
420.
2015. Beach said 2014 or 2015.
Jeez,
You guys are
so
on it, on your
8
shit.
years. Why do you guys know this?
I don't know.
Well,
presumably they weren't as drunk as us, you know.
as drunk as we. Get your grammar right. But
Never.
like, so, like she did give a rendition of the Varen, which is the dragon speech, which I actually really liked.
Mhm.
Because I think
Yeah.
that that's actually key to Varen being far more, like, being observant. In this case, Varen doesn't strike me as unobservant. She's not quite as crazy seeming, or not
Okay.
crazy, but just kind of absent as Book Varen. But I don't detest her. I don't think that she's a bad choice at all. The way she's doing the character.
No, I like Varen. I don't necessarily, and the actor playing her, I don't necessarily
Yeah.
like love like the situation she's in and how she's being like kind of shoehorned into the show, but like
Yeah.
with the whole Adelaide Van Dien
Yeah, it's
thing,
fine.
but it's
I-
that kind of change that actually doesn't bother me all that
Yeah,
much.
this
And,
is like
they're
that's
pretty,
yeah.
so like that's a good representation of a change. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
What do you think about the? Well, first, Lady of the Balkans has been said this 2 times now. Can we just refer to Rand Dragon Reborn paying his motel bills in dick magic to land?
So I have a
that
real
is
problem with
hilarious.
this. I have a real
Well,
problem. with
also, by the way, on that note, though, he walks through Caraheen like in the foregate, presumably every morning. And some guy goes like, "Hey, man," and throws him breakfast, and he just catches it. Like, what's he paying that guy with? More dick?
this. More
Is it
dick.
more dick?
Dick magic, man. Yeah.
All right.
So everything about that, again, I like him kind of fitting in. Like, all
branded
right.
hands, battle in the sky. Yeah, etc. Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
so
She does say all that. That's true.
yes, she does. So that would definitely be. How would she know that? I mean, that could be from the prophecies, but at the same time, Brandon, I once the hero on DeMarcus' path has never said where it's going to be, so a Brandon hand doesn't make sense. Almost like she's
Mhm.
seen a combination of prophecies. Well, maybe it's in the prophecies of the dark, but again, we're just speculating.
That's true. That's true.
But the fact that Moraine's not responding, like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" means that it's got to be something that
We need a
she's
show
seen.
version of the Royal Rumble. We should make a show version.
Oh my god, that would be
I've
the
been thinking about the
worst.
Royal Rumble a lot recently because I was like, we need to do one of those again. Maybe January-ish when the show's over, and
The show's over in 4 weeks.
No, I know, and I mean, like, yeah, but we gotta do like a season wrap up, and then maybe TWoTcast, and then who knows where that'll take us. I don't know. I'm just
Maybe
saying,
we
like
should do it.
January, February, let's do a Royal Rumble and just make it show based.
Don't forget, we got to figure out our own fucking Home Alone movie we're doing.
Yeah, we got to. The holidays are crazy. We barely record, and then there's also, and we have holiday specials to do.
Yeah. All right. So back to the actual point.
Yes, Rand and
Where-
Lanfear. I mean, Celine. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't hate some of what's going on here. I think it's an interesting way of showing this relationship in a little more mature way, but at the same time,
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense what really happens. Like, so Celine is a innkeeper,
Yeah.
but
First of all,
Okay.
can you imagine her doing 1 minute of actual work from
maybe
the
she doesn't
character
have
you
to.
know from the books? Yeah, that's true. She hasn't. In fairness, in the show, she hasn't lifted her fucking finger yet. So I mean,
That's
like,
not true. Rand's
she has,
urethra will
she has
tell you the
underlings.
opposite.
She has underlings do that.
Yeah.
Tickling the balls, all the side stuff.
Yeah. But like, there's like so much like weirdness to this character being set up already,
Mhm.
and to Rand attaching himself here that I just want to know more about. I'm not saying it's like wrong, whatever
So
that means.
to me, it's sort of like in book 2, we get Lan and Faldara. Rand and Faldara with Lan. He's learning the sword. He's learning how to like cross the courtyard, so to speak, and
cat crosses. Yeah,
and like you know what I'm saying. Like Lan's teaching him how to like stand up for himself with the Amirlan seat when she
instead
comes,
this is mill sex. Yeah, like
instead,
some older lady. Yeah,
you're getting Lanfear whispering in his ear, going like, "This is how you should hold yourself," or "Fuck that guy," or "Fuck this person," like kind of thing. And like, and I kind of get why they're doing it that way, because they don't have him and Lan together. So that part, but at the same time, it's so different.
But that's formative. Like that's the thing is this. Like Rand going out in the world alone in
Rand's
book
going
2.
Around the Forgate pounding everyone.
Rand going out into the world like in book 2 is a wonderful fucking journey.
Lady of the Balkans already said that, Ayush. We know.
Yeah,
that's what we're discussing right now, Ayush.
Like when Rand has the coat, which we'll get to in a bit. Like Rand.
Oh yeah.
And Huron kind of like needs to be Huron needs to be pumped up because he's scared as shit when they're in the other world. All right, and then Rand has to do this and he has to do that.
Oh yeah, that bit. Yeah.
And like thankfully he's already like halfway decent with a sword, enough to like hold himself against more than bullies, obviously. Although I do have a theory. What if he just kills Errol, the old man in the insane asylum? By definition, he would become a blade master.
I'm a blade master. I own the sword now. You know what? The funny thing with the sword thing, and I mentioned it on our podcast like a million years ago, but like there's a lot to be said about like him having like memories from Lews Therin like bleed into like his abilities in current day, and like even in the books, it's a little unbelievable that he defeats Turok.
You mean max power?
And yeah, like max power. That's what I'm saying. No, I mean, like it's a little unbelievable that Rand defeats Turok like one-on-one with an actual blade master in book 2. Like it's a little crazy.
It's a little early,
even with Lan's training, and like so. I'm just like the idea that he has some skill just innately inside of him somewhere, like as like repressed Lews Therin memories, like. I'm okay with him not necessarily, because of the books, it's not very well depicted. I'm okay with him not depicting it well in the show. Like I'm just like, well, that's par for the course. They didn't really learn the sword in the books either.
At this rate, Nynaeve's gonna be his fucking teacher. Because of her work.
Aaron teaches him how to clean shitty bridges.
That's an important thing you're gonna need to learn. That's very important.
Him cat crosses the courtyard. Slane teaches him tongue cleans the cat. These are all great comments, by the way. Do you guys have a Discord channel? If you send me an invitation, please. Yes, we do. We're barely there. I would, in theory, we could be there more often if people actually got there and spoke there. But but the links in the description below.
I like the fact that you blamed our.
Just hit see more and it's there, and you can join anytime you want.
I love that you blamed, like if more people were there, we'd be there more often, as opposed to the opposite.
No.
Yeah.
It's not on them.
Yeah, it's definitely on them. All right. Where are we now?
We're on the Nynaeve follows Leandrin in part 2, and then she sees the old man and gets slapped.
I hate this. That's it. I don't want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah, I kind of don't like it either. Yeah.
I hate
that. Bothers me.
When I first saw the old man, I said to my blow-up doll wife, like, hey, guess what that is? That's going to be her kid. And I was actually right, which is infuriating, because I should never be right about theories. Because I'm a goddamn book stickler. And no offense to many characters here, but Leandrin banging around enough to have a kid doesn't make sense.
At any point in her life. At any point. It does do a cool... man, I can't even believe I just said that out loud. It does have one useful note in that it shows the longevity of an Aes Sedai.
That is the only possible useful thing. I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
And that is like it.
Yeah.
In terms of, I have a kid and he's now 87 and dying, and I'm taking care of him.
Either that or
whatever. Yeah. But like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, but why?
Why?
But why?
Matt
so meets Min. Help dig me out. Moving on.
I did love the like push it through another cell, and he's like, and another cell.
Yeah. Just immediately. It just goes like, the last brick. Fuck.
Yeah.
Also, what did you think was beside you?
It's a great question. I don't know how you thought jail cells work, but usually they're in a row.
The idea that would be like a way out into the hallway is like laughable.
or outside, maybe.
Yeah, or try digging against the wall that's has a window on it then. like that's probably the wall that you would dig through. You're trying to get out of there.
I did enjoy their quick banter because I think Matt seems funny.
Oh, that's actually an interesting point. Unless her boy is a high-ranking dark friend. But why would she care, though? And then, therefore, why would she care if Nynaeve showed up? Unless it is a dark friend and she's like, get out of here! And but that reaction seems so real and visceral that I have to assume it's a real thing.
Yeah.
He could also still be a dark friend, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I hated every piece of it, though. And the weirdness
the
of
new actor is great for Rogue Matt. How do you like Donald Flynn so far?
I think that's where I was going. I think he's actually great. I liked Barney a lot. I think Barney fucking nailed all of Dark Matt. Donald Flynn looks like he can actually do the more trickster version. I'm sure Barney could have too, because presumably they didn't like. But I think both actors are actually great. It'd be really funny if they just put Barney back in season 3 and then Donald Flynn in season 4.
just like every even and odd season.
Yeah. You know what their contract says. But no, I like
think he did a great job. I liked him. And to Beej's point, there was a few moments like we talked about earlier with him kind of tracing her steps through the hallway with moving his hand around and going lock clicks, step, another slide bolt, that kind of thing. That was fun. And then there was just a few moments. His back and forth with Min was fun.
Yeah,
I don't agree with the situation they're both in, and I kind of
everything about is trash.
But the way they acted with each other was good.
Yeah,
and there was just a few moments, I can't remember. I think it was with Leandrin and maybe a little bit with Min, but there was a few moments of Donald Flynn just smiled in the right way that I was like, oh, that's Matt Coffin. I love it.
When he made something
so
about
there was a couple of those notes where I was just like, I nailed it. Good job.
He made a joke about it's like a sex thing, and he's like,
well, she was like, you're not inviting me in here to have sex with me, and he's like, absolutely. And what did he say?
No, it's about Leandrin.
He's like,
it's about Leandrin. She's like, and he's like, I think she prefers her men dead, which is interesting because it's right on the heels of her son dying.
Yeah, she has a child.
But yeah,
maybe she praying mantis to her baby daddy, and he's dead now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if we talked about it enough, by the way, but I do kind of enjoy that Atlas is a bit of a drunk, horny old woman.
I thought that was weird. I literally made a note of there's a lot of horny Aes Sedai women in this show. Not just women, Aes Sedai women. And I'm like, I don't know. It seems a little not out of character, but just maybe something that wasn't really
it's there to some degree. Books. Only with the greens, though. The greens are just
Lana's a green, so I mean that's a large piece of it. So
Atlas is technically a green. Oh nope, that's Van Dien, isn't it? Shit,
well,
which
maybe Atlas is Van Dien and Atlas together since Varen's taking control
Adeline or Vandellis.
Van Dien and Annalise.
Yeah, no, I combined the two names on purpose.
Oh,
so definitely,
I see what you did there.
Yeah, very clever, highbrow stuff here. Moraine then gives a pretty faithful retelling of the New Spring story, by the way, of how she and Lan
my
met.
notes on that thing were Moraine and Lan tell how they met. It's New Spring in one scene.
Yeah, not bad.
And then I wrote Alice needs some dick.
Yeah, also bad. I would not volunteer for that. Of importance, though, the last line really is the right warder can protect you from yourself. And it's interesting because the entire time Moraine's trying to shed herself of her warder right now.
Yeah, what's going on there?
No, I think it's supposed to be kind of analogous to how Rand is trying to shirk his friends in book 2 because she doesn't want to put Lan in danger. She knows that she's going into danger and doesn't want him to do so.
Yeah.
But I think that's also dumb. Yeah, dumb.
I mean, there's no reason not to have him around. Like, why? What's her goal? Like, where's she riding off towards?
We don't know.
Rand?
Yeah, she keeps saying Rand, but again, I guess the only thing is
when she does that, like, what's the reasoning there? Like, why would you be like, all right, I got to get rid of my warder?
Maybe she knows Lanfear's there, and they have half the same name. That's not right. But that kind of how she does with Samael and Ilian, of trying to like send him away.
Okay, it's not meant until he speaks the old tongue. Why?
Again, it's not.
We all know Matt wanted Min to get it. Yeah, but not necessarily with him.
But he's okay with it, right? He wants to be a friend of Rand, take care of some of his obligations. Look, Matt will become Matt when he walks out of that cell and beats the shit out of
Warders are only for fucking. They haven't protected anybody. I kind of agree.
So far they are.
I bitched about that for season 1 from minute 1 that they took like all these weirdly small yet enormously awesome moments from Lan and gave it to Moraine to like make her a stronger character when you didn't need to make her a stronger character in that way, in any way, shape, or form. And it would have just been a really cool moment of like Lancer bodyguard and like rush. Like the quintessential example is Moraine stops the dagger from touching her, like when Matt lashes out with it, and like Lan's not there to stop it, like kind of thing. Like, like those little moments, I'm just like, why not give that to Lan? Like, why not show Lan
because you're a bitch
getting there before her and stopping the dagger, even if she's like readying a weave or like has something going or something. But like the fact that he would be there first would just be like, oh well, shit. Now I see what his job is. Yeah, that's his job. Yeah, that's it. Like, it's not about like he needs to be more of a badass. It's more like show him doing his fucking job.
And like Lan is also and
Lan would go straight to the blight. See, exactly.
Lan is not just a warder. He's like a top tier fucking warder, right? He's a legend amongst legends. Like that's what he is. And like they start telling the story about how badass he is, and then anyway, good night. That's it. Like it's not. It's just like, what the fuck is this?
All right.
Yeah, we should probably hurry this shit up though. Huh? Yeah. It's like 10:40. Yeah, or 10:50. All right. So the next scene is men with a bottle of wine coming over into
Min and Matt share wine. Yeah.
The
cool part about this is that she tells him why she's actually there, because she can see the future, and he's like, yeah, I really wish it was something else. And I actually kind of enjoyed that conversation because Matt felt like I just liked it in the sense of like, yeah, he wouldn't want to know.
Like, yeah, he doesn't. I think that's actually yeah. But then Min does get a viewing of Matt stabbing Rand. No idea what to think of that. I don't have a thought because I don't know. Like there's enough like
I'll tell you what my thought
rant is. About.
I think the Battle of Falm is going to go a very different way than we think in the books it does, and that he might be the cause of the side wound. The unhealable dagger.
Yeah, I got
wound.
It. I got it.
I maybe. Assuming all of Min's viewings come to pass as that is the case in the books. What else could that be?
Next. All right. So
the wound that won't heal. That's my only.
I got it. We're trying to skip because I'm
show version of that. Anyway, go on. Yeah.
We're trying to go fast and not just piss me the fuck off because
Rand and Celine. It's the mutual conversation of like, we don't love each other. I'm gonna help you. You're gonna help me remember Lewis Theron, although she doesn't say that out loud, and I'll help you forget
Egwene.
I guess.
Yeah. I'll tell you one biggest takeaway. Did you look at the pillows? They're made of burlap. Like that looks awful to sleep on.
Comfortable as fuck.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I'm gonna sleep on one tonight.
It's not really nice to call your wife.
Authentic Amazon Prime burlap pillow.
So then
it's really good.
The next scene is Egwene and Elaine. Elaine, of course, is a home brewer. And they're drinking that out of delicate glasses, which all I could think of was, I'm sure Alan Ramonchuk is not happy with the choice of earthenware, glassware options. Because
I just wrote Elaine makes moonshine.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What the it's day 2 in the tower for her. She's
It's
just
also
like,
like,
you want to get drunk?
why does that
And then
need to be there?
my immediate thought was like, are they trying to make me like Elaine? Is that what's happening?
Why do they need to have? I don't
Do you
know.
think this is Rafe Judkins trying to get me to like Elaine?
It's exactly
Specifically me.
Specifically
I don't mean
Joe
the
O'Hara.
audience.
Yeah. Hey, those drunk guys. Yeah.
Yeah. To that drunk asshole that hates Elaine,
Yeah.
what can I do to make him turn around?
So Elaine asked if
Here's my toilet wine.
Damn it, Joe. Elaine starts asking about Nynaeve being powerful. The girls gossip, which hurts Nynaeve's feelings.
Well, so Nynaeve overhears Egwene being super jealous of her, which
Is
it doesn't hurt her feelings. I think it's more of like Nynaeve going like, I came here to protect Egwene, but this doorway heard conversation clearly means that I don't need to be here to protect Egwene. This is all about Nynaeve going to the Arches. It's all about like the warder conversation when they were doing the sword fight was like all about like, you need to know why you're here. That's the number one thing you need to know kind of thing. And then like, she even admits like the why she's here is to protect Egwene. Because it's not for her. She doesn't care about becoming an Aes Sedai.
It's true,
So,
but at the same time, like
it's all set
narrative.
up for her going to the Arches, dude. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Just
so on that note, she's in her room and Leandrin shows up.
Spelled mother's milk in a cup. That's the label, bottled.
Amazing.
I'd buy it.
I'd buy a lot of that.
Yeah.
We all know what mother's milk is. It's cum. Or I guess it's tit milk too. I forget. Did we ever get an answer? Regardless. Tit milk. Tit milk's a fun word to say, or I guess duo. All right. So, but anyway, Leandrin apologizes, kind of, and then said, follow me to the testing, where there are somehow only 3 sisters.
She doesn't apologize at all. You can.
Well, she says we don't need to discuss what happened this morning. That's the closest she's going to get to an apology.
She I got a little bit harsher of a reaction from that. It was just like, I wouldn't be fucking standing here if I hadn't already put this in motion. Like, shut your mouth and come with me. That's what I got from that.
I got the opposite because I think that because Nynaeve was actually telling her actually how to heal using herbs, her son a little better. Her lashing out was a little you're off your tits. Her lashing out was a reaction as opposed to something logical, which is because she's a woman.
Oh, we haven't had one of those this entire episode? Seriously?
Yeah, I'm very contained. Yeah.
That's how long that took?
It took a while.
Yeah,
anyway, so it's just 3 Aes Sedai: Leanne, Sheriam, and Leandrin.
Yeah, we did again. So, like the Dark One social, we did discuss her walking into this room already. So, like, we don't need to belabor a point, but
yep,
it's sort of like why not make it more? You had a bunch of Aes Sedai standing around for a scene where Sheriam is like, "Hey, what's going on with those novices?" So why not have a bunch of Aes Sedai standing around in the background of this scene?
What is the deal with those novices?
Hey, what's going on with those novices over there?
Oh man! All right, so the next scene is Moraine sending Lan to the tower, mentioning that Ishamael is freed and maybe waking the others, which is obviously where we get with the Baal Dome and Quendiar that we think is that kind of leads that way.
I mean, I don't even know. So when she has that evidence, why does she even say possibly? Because she doesn't theoretically know for fact that that's happening?
That's right. It could be.
I feel like knowing what she knows and seeing another piece of a broken seal, she would be like, clearly one of the other Forsaken is loose. Like, clearly, that's what this means to her knowledge, at least.
Daughter of the Night, and I'm sure that prophecy is actually going to be Daughter of the Night Moon. She walks again, that kind of thing, because that's the blood calls blood thing. But then we get this thing that 8 Forsaken. That he cut me off. It usually takes
Yeah.
8 Aes Sedai, and lands.
And then she's like, "You have no idea what they can do," kind of thing.
yeah. I think
Well, I
this
think that's her not
solidifies.
understanding. Well, it's Lan saying like you need this many people, and it's her saying you have no idea what they can do. But in reality, I think Tom's right, and I think a lot of other people that have theorized this are right. That he didn't like cut her off or steal her. He like cut her off
Shielded
and
her.
tied it off. Yeah,
Yeah, like what was
shielded her
done
and
to
tied it off,
Leandrin. Like what Moghedian did to Leandrin. But I think
Yeah.
it also changes. Like I think 8 becomes the numbers instead of 13. So instead of 13 Forsaken and 13 being what you need in a circle for maximum power, like quote unquote maximum power, it's going to be 8, right?
Well, that's been. There was 8 Forsaken statues in that dude's room in the first season.
Yeah, but I think that
Like,
solidifies.
Oh, sure, yes, yeah, for sure.
And that dude is, of course, the greatest warder of all time, whose name I forget from New Spring.
Steppen.
What's his name?
Steppen.
That's right, Steppen.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking name.
The guy that like Leandrin, they wasted 2 full episodes on first season when they should have not done that at all. Is that what you're talking about? That guy?
That's exactly. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to
favorite. Yeah, top 5 character. Now that
Lan
he's dead.
steals the poem. All right, so yeah, we get Leandrin brings her to the Arches, but we cut back to Lan and Moraine. Oh, we're already kind of talking about that. We let out, but specifically though, he steals the Dark Prophecy and puts it in his jacket. I don't know why that's relevant, but it might be relevant later because he has it and she doesn't, or maybe just so he knows where to go later or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Presumably, if it's the Dark Prophecy written in blood, like Fat Pat and Fane was supposed to have done, then it's mentions Tome and Head, I assume.
Sound like you said Fat Pat and Fane, and I love this new character.
Fat and Pain. That's what I said.
Yeah. Moraine says Alana's going to take you to the tower, and that also she could take his bond by force.
But his band Steppenwolf was awesome.
His band Steppenwolf was awesome. Close your eyes, girl. Look inside.
Wildman, based on this other comment of no, again destroying the magic system of Wheel of Time. Also, it's twat, by the way. The magic system, the character they destroyed most.
There's so much, like, and we're kind of going rapid
Lan
fire.
gives it back and apologizes, does he? Totally missed that. I should watch that again. Apparently,
I don't have that in my notes either. And my notes are comprehensive.
I did not see him hand that back to her and apologize. I saw him go like, "Hello, oh hey."
Well, again, it's better to have astute readers than.
Does he hand it back when he's like, you never considered me an equal, and that whole thing when she's on horseback?
That's a tough part. Like that,
that is tough because she's saying that truthfully, whether she's trying to push him away or not. She clearly, truthfully, never saw them as equals.
Unless she's a Blackajaw. Maybe she's the Varen.
Get out of here.
Yeah. In that case, what the fuck? But anyway.
Wildman Wyatt said he's just talking shit. Okay.
Oh.
You can't fuck with our heads like that, Wildman Wyatt.
We're not very smart. We're dumb.
We don't know what's going on. We're barely paying attention to this shit.
Yeah, it's getting harder.
All right, let's talk about the Shan-Chan fight in the night.
I think it's the dumbest plan from the Shan-Chan to just grab people and drag them literally.
What is this whole thing?
Hundreds of feet. Like, why not? I don't know. Use.
They're dragging them all out of their homes in the middle of the night. That part I get.
Like they roped down Loyal, but they just let the Shan-Chan or the Shinarans grab their weapons and Perrin get up.
Well, presumably they were like, "Loyal, would you like some tea?" And he was like, "Oh, sure. Where are we going?" And then he was like, "Oh, you have library books? Okay, let's go out in the middle of the night and read some library books by firelight." And then they were like, "Just kidding!" And then they threw a bunch of lassos around him. And that's when he was like, "Wait a minute, is this a trick?" And they had like a full 10 to 15-minute conversation about whether it was a trick or not. And then everyone was actually fighting, and that's when he started getting angry.
I've got to read closer. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, or watch closer. I
guess that works too. I definitely don't read closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole thing's fucking weird. But eventually the Shinarans fight back.
I wrote that guy's ripped, and I'm
Yeah.
referring to what I
Apparently
think is
Massima.
not Massima. Is that Massima?
That's what
I missed that.
that's what our viewers are telling us to.
Also, he found time to put on his shirt and armor before coming outside to continue fighting.
All the
Which I
Shinarans
found-
had
which I
time
found
for it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I assume Uno just sleeps in his armor, don't you? I mean, like,
Yeah, it probably smells awful, but yeah.
Yeah.
And odds are with that eye, he's not
maybe
getting
he
much
was on
voice.
watch
Yeah.
with his one eye.
Yeah. He is supposed to be the
He
best
was
tracker.
on watch.
Shinari.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did think Loyal was pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, is it weird to see him fight ish? Even
Yeah.
though it's like ish fighting, like is it weird to see him do that so quickly or so soon within the series of the show versus the books?
He kills
when he
he
finally,
kills the Trollocan book too.
That's true.
Yeah. But again, it just doesn't quite. It gets weird because he's not big enough.
I feel
to
like
me.
so. Here's the thing. Well, he's not big enough, but that's again because they're doing like real life makeup, and I get that. But like, I don't mind that. I guess is what I'm trying
But
to
he
say.
doesn't. He's not big enough to like throw people.
They don't
like
make
that.
a big enough point about him being loyal, the librarian pacifist, and then putting a long handle on his axe, so to speak. You know, like they don't put enough point on that to make it relevant. You know, or important enough, I guess. And like I don't mind that he's fighting back in this situation. Like it makes complete sense, but like make it more of a thing.
I just feel like the context is missing for all these things, right? Like
yeah,
it's like we're 50% of the way there for a lot of these things of like what the value of the dragon is and the frightening thing of the dragon, because I think that that's something that like really, or the Dragon Reborn, like the whole point of it. Sound the dragon, like of what the fuck Rand's future isn't just an asylum, and what the fuck this guy does isn't just he kills his family. But destroyed a fucking world, and like it's the thing used to frighten you because it literally happened, right? And there's still pieces of that are out there.
And the idea that Rand being a male channeler and just trying to run away from his friends and then like hiding for a long time, like that sort of makes sense. Even if it's on the idea that he could get closer to Logain, to somehow learn control.
Yeah, control, like Owen, to worry about being like Owen, Tom Maryland's kid.
I kind of get that,
nephew.
But like when you take into account that Rand knows he's not just a dude who can channel, but the actual Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
In the end of season 1, like what he's doing right now seems a little, I don't know, irresponsible.
Or maybe not.
That being said, in book 2 and 3, like he was still in denial. Like he wasn't like accepting that yet. So I mean, like that could be a large part of what's going on with him.
Looking for a teacher
it's still
physical.
Like not. He's not looking for a teacher. He's looking for a way to like push it at bay, I think.
Well, I think that those are not,
and
they're not independent thoughts, right?
True. Yeah.
But anyway, let's finish this shit up here. So,
well, I mean, that's it, right? I mean, well,
two things.
Sure, the Damani.
Yeah. I'm not fully there, but they look cool on TV.
Okay, yeah, they look cool.
Suroth coming.
I don't know about their weave that they chose. Like, I feel like the Damani would just be like lightning bolt, blows, explosion, and instead they're like, let's push them all down with some air.
I think that's like to keep them alive. Like it's weirdly.
I get that. Yeah, maybe they want more people to bow down and swear.
But what's more frightening?
Maybe that's the deal.
Like what happens to?
Yeah, you wouldn't have to put Uno's head on a spike in episode 3 if you blew some people up with or struck people down with lightning, and there's not enough
fear.
Holy shit, they're using the one power against us as a weapon.
Yeah,
in these 2 episodes.
You're fucking right.
Obviously, we'll talk more.
I hadn't thought of that, but you're fucking right.
Yeah, there's not enough react. That should be a reaction enough. Like, holy shit, they used the one power against us last night.
You can't like that's.
Let's all just fucking listen to them right now and fuck our pride.
Yeah.
And try to figure out how to fuck them over later.
Yeah.
Like, there's not enough of like. Why was there even thought process? They should have been like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They just did what I said I can do. What the fuck's
except they
happening?
shouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
And Ishamael riding with Suroth is a lot to consider. Obviously, we do have a Forsaken who does so with a different Shan-Chan noble, but that's not ready. Although I guess Ishamael did loose the Shan-Chan in his own way. But that's kind of the end of that. And then Rand goes to work. It's my favorite sentence.
Rand
goes to work
again.
Yeah. And sees Logain.
We've got more Rand going to work.
Yeah.
You know? That's
I love this Logain actor. I think he's fucking amazing. I forget the guy's name, but he's
I'm really bad.
He could be in the back of every scene just grinning wildly for all I fucking care.
Just like maniacal laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, Logain, and forgive our ignorance, the man playing him. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just kind of going like, why am I watching this scene happen at all?
Yeah.
It's not a bad scene.
It's not a bad scene at all.
You know,
but it's what they choose to do with Rand.
I'm going to see Rand playing the flute for all the patients. Skin flute, you meant, by the way.
Yeah. First off, skin flute. Secondly, because it's this version, he'd probably be playing guitar like Tom Maryland did.
That's true.
Which, by the way, fuck that. But anyway.
Lack of Tom Maryland this season already is upsetting me.
It's okay. I'm not missing him yet, but he better come into play. He should. We're in Carrion. I thought for a second in episode 3 when we see the guy in the
you
fucking.
You could have tied Min to Falm a lot more easily, and made Tom in the other jail cell for no reason at all, and that would have been interesting. Because
that actually would have made sense. Because Tom Maryland should be in jail.
Yeah,
he actually he talked. Yeah,
I need some Matt and Tom
It's the best part of the fucking books. The best part of the books. Joe, we've been doing this for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Let's end this shit.
We gotta stop.
Yeah.
Rand meets Logains. That's tWoTcast for this week. I think is what John is trying to say.
Yeah.
If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and in theory, we'll get better at responding to them. I'm not going to contradict that because no, it's not true anymore. I do respond. You can listen to the audio version of the show wherever you get your podcasts. tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by the one and only Taffy Bennington and Angel Bard of Time. Links to all of their stuff is below. Join us next episode for more Wheel Time, covering season 2. Episodes 3 and 4, hopefully we'll cover them a lot faster with way less technical difficulties than we did tonight.
Yeah, you didn't expect a 3-hour episode on a show that technically was only 2. We took longer on this than the show did.
That's not surprising.
Technically, because we had to cover the show.
Say good night, Jono.
Good night, Yoey. Good night, Jono.
And Tom already said, keep the change, you filthy animals.
Fucking piece of shit. Yeah.
Wait, Tom didn't say that. He said, study your mouth. I see, keep the change, you filthy animals.
You don't know. We're good at this show. We're good at this show.
We're good at this.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast code.